With barely time to recover from a heartbreaker just 4 days ago, it's back to work for the Whitecaps. Nothing has changed. Fifth place is still within their grasp, and the schedule makers have left a gift at their doorstep, a date with one of the league's basement dwellers. Now all the Caps have to do is take advantage. Whitecaps and the Austin Aztec coming up next. Vancouver Whitecaps and Austin Aztec, and what is our final broadcast of the season, Save on Foods Vancouver Whitecaps Soccer on Shaw. Good evening, everyone. The Vancouver Whitecaps are still holding down that final playoff spot in the USL, but they remain within striking distance of both Montreal and Rochester, so they have a chance to climb the USL ladder. They're getting a lot of help from the schedule makers. This is the first of two meetings between Vancouver and Austin, who is the second to last team in the league. The last team, Cleveland, is also scheduled to visit in the Whitecaps' final 5 games of the season. The Whitecaps have got to sort out some issues of their own if they want to take advantage of these struggling teams. And the month of August, they had a record of 1 win, 2 losses, and 5 draws. For more on tonight's match, let's check in with our play-by-play team of Peter Schaff and Alan Arrington.
You know, Kristen, we've talked a lot, Alan and I, about the quality of the opposition and the schedule down the stretch, but that's all talk unless you win those games.
Well, on paper, the Whitecaps have the easiest run-in of any of the teams in the league, but that means nothing. I mean, every team that comes in, they come to Swan God, they want to play, and if you take any team lightly, I think you're going to pay the consequences for that. So I think every game has to be played as if it's a cup final, and if you do that, you're going to peak at the right time for the playoffs coming up, and the Whitecaps have done that in the past. The times they've won it, I think they peaked at the right time. They haven't had the greatest season, but they've gone on at the end, done well, and won the championship, and that's what they're going to be looking to do again this year.
Let's have a look at the USL 1 table. With Montreal winning today, they leapfrog Rochester, and the Whitecaps still in good shape. If they win tonight, their magic number will be down to 9 to clinch a playoff spot. As for the opposition, the Austin Aztecs, an expansion team, one of the familiar faces to Whitecaps fans is Kevin Sakuda, a longtime Seattle Sounder and then a Montreal Impact player this year.
Well, Kevin's played both in midfield and in defence, and it's unfortunate, I guess, for him that he's not picked up with Montreal, out of a great organisation. But to come here, he's got a bit of a pedigree, he's played in the league, and he's a player that's going to bring a bit of experience to the team, and he's a good, solid, steady player, so a great addition for the Aztecs.
And gifted Noel Williams is a player with some pedigree too. At U16 he played for England, but maybe best known for playing with Watford.
Yeah, he did play for Watford, and it's a fairly big club, Watford. You know, they were in the Premier League not too long ago. He played for the England under-16 team, so he's got to have a bit of a pedigree. He's got something about him, there's no doubt about that. But it's interesting, the stats on how many players actually play for the England youth team and actually make it into the first team. There's not that many. I believe it's about 1%. But he's certainly a player to look for tonight. He's got to have some ability in him and one to watch.
As for the Whitecaps, what can you say about Gordon Chin, who has stepped in this year, made the team, and done a very serviceable job in the center of midfield? He'll be needed tonight with Martin Nash injured.
Well, he will, but I think Gordon Chin is a player that just steps up and does his bit. He's one of these sort of unsung heroes, I call him. He comes in, he's an honest player, and every time he's come on the field, in my opinion, I think he's had an impact on the game. Sometimes it's different starting, but I think he's got enough experience about him. He's been around a while, Gordon Chin, and in some good areas as well. He's played at a good level. I think he'll come in and do a terrific job as usual tonight.
As for Lyle Martin, a player who can play at fullback and outside right midfield, more comfortable perhaps at right back, and has done a great job this year.
Well, he has, and I think what was interesting in the last game we saw was both Lyle Martin and West Knight were interchanging positions, and either one can get forward, and that's going to be a bit of a concern for the defenders, having to pick up either West Knight, who's a good winger in his own right, but Lyle Martin making these overlapping runs with the pace that he's got. It really is something where you've got two players like that getting forward.
Let's hear from Lyle Martin. He is standing by with Kristen Reed.
Well, at this point in the season, how important is it to take advantage of these teams who are lower than you in the standings?
It's very important, because not only are they at the bottom of the table, but we need to definitely set our mark now and let the other teams above us know that we're ready to play and we're looking forward for playoffs.
How hard is it to maybe not keep looking at the standings every night and see what the other teams are doing?
It's very hard, because, I mean, it's coming down to the last 2-3 weeks here. And playoffs are right around the corner. It's on everybody's mind. So there's not going to be a day that goes by you're not thinking about where you are, and especially us being in 7th place, holding that last playoff spot. We're concentrating on it.
And there's someone special on your mind that you wanted to mention?
Yes, I want to say hi to Matt Williams out there at the BC Hospital. Hope you get better, son.
Thanks for this.
All
Good
right.
luck tonight.
Bye-bye.
The thoughts of Lyle Martin of the Vancouver Whitecaps as they get set to host the Austin Aztecs. Take it with us. Kickoff is just moments away.
The only thing better than recycling is having a monkey for a pet. Oh man, I love monkeys.
Truck Accessories has a large selection of aftermarket accessories for trucks. Located at 430A 40th Avenue Northeast, Truck Accessories.
Sony TV brings you the best of South Asian entertainment. Enjoy movies, dramas, comedies, and thrillers. Plus news, sports, and weather, all in Hindi. Asian Television Network features the best of ZTV and Star Plus, with soaps, movies, news, and out-of-India locally produced entertainment shows. Sony TV and ATN. Get both for $26.95 per month. Subscribe today to get the first month free. Call 310-SHAH.
Save on Foods Whitecaps Soccer from Swangard Stadium featuring the expansion Austin Aztecs. Let's get a look at the lineups and see how Adrian Heath's side warms up and lines up on the park. He's playing a 4-3-3, and he'll have the goalkeeper Nick Noble behind a back line of Sakuda, Horst, Bernard, and the Welshman Evans. Cockerty in the middle of the midfield with a player to watch for, Alexandre Jean up front between Silva and Williams. As for the Whitecaps, ever-present Jay Nolly will back up a stable back line, which includes Pejic, Pozniak, Martin, and Hirano. Kenold Versailles makes his first start at home for the Whitecaps alongside Gordon Chin. It's BK and Haber partnering up front once again. Nick Noble is usually a backup, but their ever-present goalkeeper has been out, Miguel Gallardo, so he gets the call. Jay Nolly has played every single minute of this USL season, and he has been very solid with 7 clean sheets. The referee is Dave Ganter from Edmonton, always referees with a smile on his face. And he has Martin Reed on the far side from Abbotsford and Kevin DeLiva from Langley on the near side. Mark Buda is the 4th official. I'm Peter Shadd along with Alan Arrington. We're underway, and it's Stoke City looking Austin Aztecs. And of course there is a connection between Stoke and this team with owner Phil Rollins involved in that organization in the English Midlands. And it's Austin underway in red stripes, red shorts, Whitecaps all in Umbro white as Taka Hirano forced into a header early, and Lyle Martin hammering the ball into midfield. Chin down for Burgess, who has a former teammate across the field from him here. Jean did play at Lynn University, so they'll know each other quite well. And it's Austin in possession. The man on the ball, Kieran Bernard, a U20 captain with the Jamaican youth national team. Chin with a good interception there, but straight through to the goalkeeper for Noble's first touch.
You mentioned Lynn University, I believe that's in Florida. And Gwyn Williams was the coach of Lynn University. He was the goalkeeper coach for Bermuda when Bobby and I were doing the World Cup team, and became good pals, and we've been down and played him a few times. So he's very good at recruiting players from all over the world and get good players, and a couple of them obviously on the field tonight. Good to see the Whitecaps sticking with a settled back four. I think since Pozniak and Pejic have teamed up, they've definitely looked a bit steady at the back. Hopefully that'll continue tonight. With Nash missing, it gives a chance for Gordon Chin to come in, but certainly for Versailles Kenold to come in and see what he's about, and whether he can hold down a spot. But up front it's BK and Marcus Haber again, who again formed a fairly decent partnership and scored most of the goals in the air with the head. But we need a little bit of an improvement from last week, and I'm sure they've been working on that midweek. I'm not too happy about seeing those red and white stripes. It reminds me of Sunderland, and it's always a bad thing for me being from Newcastle.
On the ball is Gareth Evans, who played at Wrexham and spent some time with Sean Pedgick, ironically, two number 4s facing each other as West Knight clears to midfield. Little chip through from Sakuda, nicely knotted down from Noel Williams. Sakuda carries his run, but it rolls over the goal line for a goal kick, and Jay Nolly will have a chat with his back four. It's been the visitors from Austin who have put the Whitecaps under pressure as Kevin Sakuda retreats after kind of a disappointing season in Montreal. We knew him in Seattle mostly as a midfielder. He did play on the back line once in a while. He's lined up at the back here, but another player that can change positions very quickly is Taka Harano. Takes the goal kick from Jay Nolly. Nice little cut inside. And then on the deck beautifully for Haber. Can he keep it in? Just eludes the Whitecap number 14. But the Whitecaps do get the throw.
A little build up there with Harano trying to play a ball just in behind the fullback, and Haber a little bit unfortunate not to keep that in, because it's good to see them try and play their way through there. The field is in great condition tonight. It's a lovely night to play football. Not too hot. It's just a lovely temperature. The playing surface, there's a few dark spots here and there where they've obviously done some repair, but it's in absolutely wonderful condition, and it's inviting when you get on there. You want to play on this field, it's just beautiful.
Broadbolt knocking through midfield. Whitecaps take it away, and a long strike on target by Terrell Burgess, but safely into the arms of Nick Noble.
Terrell Burgess a little bit ambitious with a shot from that distance, but he certainly caught hold of it. He's got a good shot on him. His corner kicks have been good delivery on that, so he can smack the ball with a bit of pace.
Harano left-footed up the near side touchline. Straight up in the air with Evans shaping up underneath it. Charles Biquet in tight quarters did well to win it and well to hold it, and earning a free kick as well.
Yeah, I thought he could have played an advantage. He could have laid that off for Burgess to play onto, and free kick it is to give everybody a chance to get back.
Both Burgess and Harano off the ball. Inside it goes to Chin. Takashi Harano, left-footed ball to the foot of Haber. Tries to settle it. Taken away, though, by Della Russo. And now Gifton Noel Williams lays down. Alexandre Jean, who's a real powerfully built Haitian lad who's just joined the squad. Gordon Chin stealing an errant ball in midfield, and now a little bit of space for Marcus Haber. Rolls through. Biquet on the diagonal run, but that's taken away by David Horst, who thumps it into touch for an Austin throw-in.
Yeah, good little bit of movement there with Biquet and Haber. Gordon Chin trying to slot the ball through there, but nice to see that little bit of movement. That makes it more difficult for defenders. You drag them out of that comfort zone. They like to be in between the penalty area, you know, and stay comfortable. If you drag them out there, they don't like being out there. And I always tell my strikers, get them out of there, drag them out, make them play where they don't want to be.
5 games undefeated for the Whitecaps, and in those 5 games, they've kept the goals allowed down. Interesting that the Whitecaps have scored the same amount of goals as they scored all of last season. However, they've allowed 2 more goals at this point of the season than they did all of 2008, the championship season. Silva, the Brazilian, who came to America, wanted to play soccer, and has now found himself in Austin, just a little too far for Horst, and the Whitecaps will get a throw. 6 minutes here at Swangard.
Well, you look at the Austin team and the track record, they've not scored a lot of goals away from home this season, Peter. And, you know, you think, looking at the stats and coming in, they might just sit back and shut up shop and let the Whitecaps try and break them down. But they've not done that. They've actually came out and they're trying to play, and they're being very proactive and pushing forward. So that's good to see, because that lends for a better game and a more entertaining night for us here.
Eddie Johnson is one of their key players, the Chester, England-born player with Chester FC. A bit of a pedigree to him. He's got back problems, so he's not here. He scored the most recent winning goal for Austin at home against Miami. And this is Gareth Evans with a diagonal right-footed ball. Back stick it goes. Good head away by Lyle Martin. West Knight nods it through midfield. Tries to get it past Della Russo. In goes Gordon Chin for a challenge. And a good job there by Burgess to tuck in and win the ball back. And then Chin gave it away to Evans, who just slams it into the grandstand here in minute number 7.
And that's a proverbial knock it in the third row, and play it safe, and it landed in the third row.
Wozniak looking for Burgess. Evans with the header. Cockerney, who was born in South Korea and has been around a little bit. including in Denmark and most recently in Romania, as Marcus Haber has a bit of room in the right channel. Cuts back nicely for Knight, who's got Lyle Martin behind him. He goes inside, though. Kennel Versailles for Gordon Chin, top of the area. Versailles spreads it wide for Lyle Martin. Martin, a little tempted give and go with West Knight. Jean run into and winning a free kick against Lyle Martin. I'll make that Versailles who came over. Delarusso and Evans closed down quickly by Burgess. And through ball looking for Jean. Good little touchdown though by Haber, and Gordon Chin has been busy already. Through ball for BK, back to goal. Good little spin. He's got West Knight charging forward. Rolls it through for Haber. Haber then with Burgess wide on his left foot. Service into the penalty area and just behind everybody, and out the other side for Kevin Sakuda. And Sakuda will have a lot of time to orchestrate an attack.
Well, a bit of a good build-up there from the Whitecaps, keeping possession in midfield, getting it wide. Marcus Haber looking to get it wide. And that's a fairly decent cross in there. I thought the goalkeeper was sort of on his way out, but changed his mind and come back. But I think what we need there is we need the striker certainly to push in and try and get on the end of there. But I also think we need a midfield player to bust his neck to get into the box as well. The more people we get in there, the more chance you've got to get on the end of it. And midfield players need to have that little bit of a drive in to get in the box. The downside of doing that is you've got to get back and defend if you don't get on the ball. But that was a decent cross, and I think we should have done better with that. Free kick here for the Whitecaps, and it looks like it'll be, is it West Knight or Gordon Chin, both coming onto the ball. And BK will be the main target here. He's very good in the air. He's a bit late getting into the box, but he should be the target man.
Minute number 9. And Chin serves it up. Up steps Pozniak, who got a good look at that cross, but it's over and out for a goal kick to our left.
Yeah, decent cross in. Pozniak getting up and having an attempt there, and really no danger with that. But I thought Charles BK, the way he lined up, he was at the front end of the 18-yard box, and for a player of his stature, I think he needs to be in the mixer. He should be the guy getting on the end of it. You're not going to score headers from the front of the 18-yard box. You need to be coming back and getting on the end of things.
Adrian Heath just off his bench and shouting instructions. A lot of experience in both a player and as a manager for Adrian Heath. I think in terms of his playing career, most of his greatest accomplishments were with Everton, where he was a close mate of Peter Reed's, and his most recent coaching stint in Coventry City. As away goes Haber. Good close though by the number 29 David Horst. It's off and out for a Whitecap throw, and West Knight with a chance to add to his league-leading assist total, and several of them have come from this particular vantage point. A long throw deep in the opposition territory. In fact, in these two teams' previous game at Nelson Field in Austin, it was a West Knight throw converted by Marco Reda that gave the Whitecaps a 1-1 draw, as Knight retreats to the track. And again, launches it in. And a header on, and in the back of the goal, it's Kennel, or was it BK? No, it was Versailles. Kennel Versailles in his first home start has knotted home the Whitecaps in front.
Peter, I was just going to mention there, and I thought I'd wait and see what happened, but when you get long throw-ins, I think it's more dangerous in the corners sometimes, because when you get corner kicks, teams do set plays, they organise their backs to defend corners on throw-ins. I don't think teams really do the homework and defend against long throw-ins, and to me that was far too easy a ball played in. Nobody picking him up, and he's just in there and in an open goal. I can't believe it was such slack marking. Other than players don't, coaches in general, I'm not saying they haven't done it, but they don't normally defend on long throws. They just leave the players to sort themselves out.
So West Knight now leads all by himself in the USL's setup category, the assist category. And Kennel Versailles with his first goal as a Whitecap in his first start on home soil, and that is a terrific start for the home side.
By number 13, Kennel Versailles.
Should say that Charles BK also made a good run towards that, which I think might have unnerved one of the defenders, as it's Pozniak playing it back to his goalkeeper Nolly, who has had little to do here in the first 12 minutes. Good header straight up and then all the way back to the goalkeeper Noble, who really could only stand and watch as that ball whipped past him into the far corner.
Well, it was a good header. I mean, he really got a hold of it and knocked it in the corner and left the goalkeeper no chance. But really, where was the marking on that? There has to be better marking to prevent that. I think he's fell asleep. I think you're right. Charles Biquet made a great run, and I think everybody's concentrating, looking for him, and they forget the quiet man sneaking at the back and gets a good header on target and scores.
Charles Biquet has had a dream season coming off of a very good 2008, and you look at the difference with losing Eddie Sabrango, and there's a through ball looking for gifted Noel Williams, and down goes Jay Nolly bravely in front of the English striker. He's wearing the captain's armband, minute number 13. Eddie Sabrango's really struggled in Montreal this season, and it seems like Charles Biquet has flourished in his second season back as a Whitecap. Nice flick by Haber. Flag goes up on Biquet, of course. Kiss of death talking about him. And he's offside. The Whitecaps' first offside.
Marginally offside there. Martin Reed again with the flag, waiting until he's involved in the play and putting it up, quite rightly so. But just a little bit off there, Charles Biquet on the wrong side of the play.
Good work by Pozniak. Haber coming off his man, back to the ball, little through ball from Chin, and away goes Terrell Burgess down the left flank. Burgess, nice move on Evans. Can he get the cross in? Does get it in. Hammered away though, no problem from Horst. And away goes Silva along the near touchline. Jean Alexandre and Cocherty. Versailles, the goal scorer. Biquet in a battle, and he wins a foul against Kieran Bernard.
Well, there might be an expansion team and they come in, they're one down, maybe a bit of an experience somewhere in the league there, but I must give them credit that the Aztecs have really come to play tonight. They try and pass the ball and they're trying to play the right way, and I think that's a credit to the coach. He wants them to play football rather than just come and sit back and be a spoiler, and it lends for a better game for the fans to watch.
And Charles Biquet almost got the benefit of Bernard slipping and falling there after the Gordon Chin free kick. Pozniak with Noel Williams on his back, just over the head of Alexandre. And then down goes Godbolt, and the Whitecaps will get a free kick. Will concede a free kick here in minute number 14.
And Williams trying to get the quick one away and catch the Whitecaps a little bit sleeping there, but the referee quite rightly bringing him back. He was about 10 yards in advance when he played that free kick, so they get enough time to get back and get organised now. And again, set plays, free kicks, corner kicks, you actually rehearse them on the training ground, so there should be less danger here. But as I say, long throw-ins, there's not much that I can see where people practice them on the training ground to defend against them. They might practice setting them up to score, but not to defend against them.
AJ Godbolt standing off this ball, one of a handful of players from Austin. That's nice to see, as they do have some hometown boys in their squad. And quite a knot of players at the edge of the penalty box as it's whipped in, and a good flick on, and Gene Hawley was at full stretch, but there was some pushing and shoving, and Dave Ganter is given a foul for the Whitecaps.
Well, that was a good ball in, a good delivery, and certainly a good header as well, and Jane Hawley was caught scrambling there, but foul nonetheless somewhere else. I don't know if it was the guy who actually headed it, and a foul called on the play, but chance nevertheless for Aztecs. Got to give them a bit of a positive boost.
Wes Knight with a nice header down right into the path of Marcus Haber. Nice ball inside. Wes Knight goes for a tumble. And the referee says play on. Biquet retrieves it. Versailles wound up as if he was going to crack it. And the Whitecaps playing a lot of balls on the deck. Big difference from the game against Rochester, where it was one long ball after the other. As back goes Pozniak comfortably in front of Cocherty. And then Nolly forced to hit it first time right-footed. Up goes Burgess. Good jump with Evans, and good play by Silva. Pokes it through, flag goes up as Cocherty and maybe even Noel Williams caught offside. Noel Williams looks like he's already hampered a little bit. He has had hamstring problems, and he's kind of hobbling around up front for Stoke, for Austin.
He's got to take that stone out of his shoe here. He is struggling a little bit there, and maybe it's just he's having a bit of a rest and trying to shake something off, but it does look like he's got a bit of a limp to him.
Good ball by Chin. Well, at least it was good intentions from Chin. He's trying to find Burgess and Gareth Evans. Cocherty. Noel Williams, nice hold for Silva, who tried to play it through. And Jean Alexandre tried to play it through as well. On the other side of this is Lyle Martin. It took a bad bounce. Appeals for handball and given. And that was a bit fortunate for the Whitecaps because Alexandra was shaping up for a shot there at the edge of the box.
Well, Lyle Martin getting himself in a bit of distress there at the back. I thought, and it's so easy sitting here, I thought he could have headed that back first time just before the incident we see there and diffused the situation. When a defender lets the ball bounce, I think you're setting yourself up for a bit of trouble. And it's always, I say, a striker's ball when it bounces. Defenders should try and get the ball in the air and clear it without letting it bounce.
One thing that's pretty apparent from the outset here, and at least in the first 17 minutes, is that Adrian Heath's team does not take its time from dead ball situations. They get right up and going as quickly as they can. Everything's taken quickly. Goal kicks, throw-ins, and free kicks as Takahirano intervenes. Through ball, took a flick off a leg, and the flag went up. It was the play of the ball that caused the offside, though.
Peter, I think your comment there about what they do and try and do things quickly is a very valid point. And I think I remember when Bobby and I were coaching the 86ers, Bobby used to stress that to the players as often as he could. When it goes out of bounds, get it and play quickly, do it everything as quickly as you can, and keep the fans entertained and keep the game going, you know. The last thing you want to see is people walking up and down trying to take throw-ins. Get it in play and get it quick. Free kicks, get it quick, try and catch your team off balance. And it really makes a difference to the game.
Godbolt, nice flick. Played in by Silva, and a little bit of a battle between Lyle Martin and John Alexandre in the penalty area. No foul given. Nolly gets up and will send his teammates forward. As the Whitecaps lead by a goal to nil on the 11th minute strike by Kennel Versailles as he nodded it home into the far corner after the West Knight throw-in. Knight was tied with 3 other players for setups in USL. And a long strike there, but hopeful from Charles Biquet with Marcus Haber dashing down the right flank and West Knight supporting him.
Yeah, I think Charles Biquet having a look there. Not a lot of options to pass the ball and decides to have a bit of a shot, but didn't really catch hold of it. But it's a long way out to try and beat the goalkeeper from that distance.
Versailles. Sean Pejic. Lyle Martin. Good work on that far side by Mike Delarusso. Versailles nodding down. Lyle Martin charging forward. And his ball played along the deck. Again, taken away by Cockerty. Noel Williams goes for a tumble after a challenge from Pozniak, and onside is Silva. With a little bit of room and an overlapping run from Evans, and a good tackle at the end by Takahirano. Versailles then thumps it forward. And
Peter, Noel Williams is very slow to get up there and has a bit more of a limp. He's struggling a little bit there. I don't know if he's having a bit of a moan at the referee actually as it goes on, but limping a little bit there. Whether that's from the challenge he just had or whether that's a recurring injury, I'm not sure, but he doesn't look comfortable.
Sakuda for Delarusso. And then Horst, who was picked up from Real Salt Lake. And there is a bit of a Real Salt Lake connection here. And several of these players do have some MLS experience. As a through ball finds Marcus Haber on the trot. Looks like he's going to get this one and keep it in. Marcus Haber deep, edge of the penalty area. 1 or 2 step overs with Bernard in tow. And then it's played in by Burgess. A floated ball and good hands by Nick Noble. Reached high. And Charles Biquet coming in again. He gets play going quickly.
A decent ball in by Burgess, a little bit slow, which is makes it more of a defender's ball, but looking to get the crosses in early, which is always a good thing, but it needs to be played a little bit faster, a little bit more pace on it to give the strikers a chance to get on the end of it.
A great way for kids to see the Whitecaps players up close and personal is at a Whitecaps Youth Soccer Camp, where players make special appearances on the last day. Whitecaps Youth Soccer Camps are on now in locations throughout Metro Vancouver, the Island, and the Okanagan. You can get more details at whitecapsfc.com/camps. And we do say hello to the great fans who inhabit Nelson Field in Austin, Texas, watching their team on the road. The first of 2 games against the Whitecaps in short order. They'll be back here on the 13th. You're watching on USLlive.com as West Knight floats in a ball to the back post and then knocked off and out by Evans for a goal kick, actually. Maybe it took a touch or went out beforehand. Or is it a throw-in deep? It's a throw-in deep for the Whitecaps. And Takahirano will come down and take this.
And you might think you might get West Knight back on this after scoring with the first goal. That he gets another one. No, I've played in there, but Takahirano looking to play it into BK there and getting it back for the cross on his own.
Takahirano
closed down by Evans. For Burgess. Pozniak, who has really helped settle the Whitecaps back line that has had its challenges. The back line that started with, imagine, Justin Thompson and Wes Charles. Little flick by Haber, well done as Gordon Chin charges through on the deck for BK. And then a little floated ball into the far side for Knight, who keeps it in. That was well done. West Knight to the outside, then to the inside. Left-footed ball floated in. Haber stretching all the way through for Burgess and hammered away at the last moment. Alan Arrington will like that build-up, though. It was just played into the striker's feet. And now Silva with a terrific move to get past Takahirano. Silva charging towards Pozniak, edge of the box, cuts to the inside, then the outside. And his momentum stopped, but he does lay it back. And Jay Nolly with his first save of the game of Jean Alexandre, who struck it well, but a little too close to the middle of the net.
Yeah, he did strike it well, and a good build-up by the Aztecs there, and good passing play. Come back. I think he does well taking it in the box there, a little step over, he comes back. It's a great little setup and a good shot. And I tell you what, credit to Jay Nolly as well. That's a good save. Any rebounds there is causing problem. Good save.
Here's Haber and BK! Yeah. Charles BK with his 10th goal of the season in minute 23. We're halfway through the first half. It's the Whitecaps 2 and Austin 0.
A rare sight from BK, scoring with his feet. He scored most of his goals this year with his head, but this time he's getting one in with his right foot. And a little bit sloppy at the back by the Aztecs, but good goal nonetheless from BK. And Haber does well on this, but BK just comes in from behind and takes the ball, and 2-0 it is. Well, I think he's doing a lap of honour, Pete. He's all around the field here. He's still off the field, BK, and they're going to start without him. Nope, they're going to wait till he gets back in here.
Well, Haber shrugged off his man Horst very nicely, kept his feet, and then BK just sort of came in behind him and whacked it home. 2 goals now into that far corner. And despite the fact that Austin's come out and played well and positive, they find themselves down 2-0, and we're only halfway through the first half.
Scored by number 98, Charles BK.
10th in all competitions, if you include the Neutralite Championships.
The Whitecaps goal scored minute 23.
Silva for Cockerney. And then back for Sullivan Silva, and he wins a free kick. Charles BK's wonderful 2009 campaign continues.
Yeah, he's done well. He's been fairly consistent scoring, hasn't he? He's every time you see a goal, he's always in and amongst it. So it's been a real good season for Charles BK. Probably the most productive he's had, I would imagine.
We think that Marlon James has been injured. Dever Orgill out for the season with the knee surgery. He's been very heavily relied upon, but take nothing away from Marcus Haber on that occasion, as well as BK now spreads it. Look at Wes Knight on the trot, and if he'd been able to take that first time off the chest, that would have been a great counterattack.
Yeah, they've got a bit of pace down the right flank with Wes Knight and Lyle Martin, both players looking to get forward. And I think the more they get them involved in the game, the more problems they're going to cause.
Horst. Cockerney. Evans. And Sakuda, who was stepping up, but that's easily taken away by Knight. He may line up, takes it wide on his right foot, maybe onto his left foot, carries on. Can he get around on it? Oh, good goalkeeping, because Wes Knight did get there, but it is a goal kick as it took a second touch off Wes Knight.
Well, Wes Knight, he's certainly turned up tonight, hasn't he? I mean, he's deked and cut back and forward each way there. I thought he overindulged a bit and did a bit too much, but he's in the box. Nobody's going to tackle him. He does well there, and he's unlucky not to get the ball because the goalkeeper's had to come for that. If he gets out behind the goalkeeper, I think it's a certain goal. It could be 3. A little bit suspect at the back, Austin tonight. You know, they've not really looked solid, and the Whitecaps have found their way past them a few times.
A little bit of a nudge there by Pozniak, and that'll be a free kick for Austin. It's funny, I overheard a fan saying just before we started, I wonder which Whitecap team will show up tonight. What a vastly different game from the Rochester outing over the weekend. And here at minute number 27, Adrian Heath is about to make a substitution, and I'm wondering if it'll be at the back as they're bringing in Ryan McMahon.
I think it is, Peter. I think it will be a defender coming off and the one going on. He's obviously not too happy being 2 goals down, and they've actually played, they've had a decent performance other than giving 2 silly goals away.
I'm wondering, it could also be gifted Noel Williams too, who's been struggling. We mentioned that he had a hamstring problem, and he just seems to be laboring a little bit. here in minute 27. A long through ball from Takaharano goes past everybody.
And Austin really playing a high line there. They pushed up almost to the halfway line from the kick there, which makes the Whitecaps have to hold back, and it leaves a terrific amount of space in behind. The dangers of that is if you've got quick players, which they have with Marcus Haber and West Knight, and even Burgess has got a bit of pace. The danger of that is if they get caught in behind in that flattened square, you can get done with the one ball over the top, and they're cleaning on goal on the goalkeeper. So a little bit of a high line, but not much balance.
First Energy Max sub is the former U20 captain of the Jamaican national team, Kieran Bernard, out in minute number 27, and Ryan McMahon is now in. 28 minutes played only. So the number 20 now in the play, and I'm not sure if they've shuffled some things around. It now looks like Evans and Horst are the two center backs, and they've dropped Della Russo into right fullback, because the adjustments that Adrian Heath has made here after just about a half an hour.
Yeah, a little reshuffle to try and get a bit better balance at the back. I think, again, that they're decent players, but I think it's the Whitecaps. The difference with the Whitecaps is they've got players now who are comfortable together and have a bit of an understanding of each other. They seem a little bit rusty at the back there, and there's too many gaps for the Whitecaps to get in behind.
West Knight and Lyle Martin stepping up, trying to get outside of his man. And the Whitecaps win a throw. Are you the BMO Ultimate fan? Log on to bmosoccer.com for your chance to win tickets to the Vancouver Whitecaps game on September 13th against these Austin Aztecs. BMO, a proud sponsor and loyal supporter of Whitecaps FC. Charles Biquet thwarted in his run forward, so it's Noble picking up and carrying on. Doherty inside for the second half substitute. McMahon, Sullivan Silva, and a good shrug off there by Jean Alexandre inside for Doherty. And Silva with a lot of room for Kevin Sakuda, who stepped up from the far side. Little chip through. Godbolt. And a good steal. Look out now on the counterattack. It's taken away by Burgess outside of the right foot as he tried to swerve it into the path of Charles Biquet, who acknowledges the attempt. It just went a little bit too straight. Ball drifted on the far side. Godbolt. Sakuda. Inside for Doherty. Played for Odense in Denmark, among other clubs. And then played for Pittsburgh Riverhounds of D2. And a lot of these players were with the U23 PDL squad of Austin. That was kind of how they started their USL life, and they did a really great job developing players through the program.
Yeah, I think they had a successful team down there as well. Being a coach in the PDL, I was aware that they were one of the better teams and had a great run in the cup. So they've got some good people behind them, and for an expansion team, I think they bring an attractive style of soccer. I'm sure they're not too happy about being 2 down, but they've got a long way to go. They've got to learn the league and become accustomed to how it's the styles of play that they're going to come up against. But they're quite an attractive team to watch, apart from the red and white stripes, that is.
West Knight inside for Versailles. Excited about his goal here tonight. What a great way to make his home start with the goal. And also to open his Whitecap account. A player who was found on their combine, which is rare to be able to find a player that you can actually pick up and sign. But the Whitecaps were high on him from the beginning. They wanted to anchor down central midfield a little bit. And I think they found a pretty good player to add some depth in that spot.
Well, it looks like Austin have a free kick here. I'm not sure what that was for. I thought everybody stopped play looking for an offside, but the free kick's given inside the centre circle to Austin.
So Heath rejigging with Horst and Evans at center back. And then out here is Della Russo, who is playing right back. That's a poor giveaway by Evans, though. And Burgess again nips in, got past his man Evans on the trot with BK in front of him. Good sliding tackle, though, by Doherty. Then it's Haber for Chin. And Burgess tried to spin. Carries on the chase. Takes down Silva. Gets right back up again. Never any quits in Terrell Burgess's play. You see the pace. Noel Williams with Pozniak all over him.
Good defending that, Peter. Pozniak just staying close and tight, making him play the ball backwards and staying with his man. Very good defending.
We have hardly mentioned Sean Pejic's name, and one of the reasons why is the ball's been played on the deck for most of the game. There haven't been any balls pumped forward for him to head clear.
And not just that, Peter. I don't think he's a player that's going to stand out and be Mr. Wonderful and, you know, you see these wonderful things. I think he's a steady, honest, good professional that just gets about his business, and really that's what you want. And he's consistent, he's steady, he doesn't do anything wrong, but he's never going to stand out and be the best player on the field because you see a lot of him. He just does his job and gets on with it. He's a good player.
Silva. A lot of quick feet and good feet as well. Noel Williams and the overlapping run from Della Russo, and another 22. Taka Harana will knock the ball out here at minute number 32. Whitecaps 2 and Austin 0. Save on Foods, Whitecaps Soccer on Shaw, our last match of the season, and the flag going up against Silva.
And again, they're trying to play their way through there. They're not just lumping balls in the box. They're trying to pass their way into the box. A little bit of an overindulgence at times, and they've been caught offside a few times tonight. The Whitecaps have actually done quite well, and I don't know whether that's Pozniak and Pejic that are organising that, pushing out. But they've kept a fairly high line themselves and pushed out, but always had a little bit of cover around the back. And when you've got cover around the back with pace like Lyle Martin, you can afford to push up a little bit more because he can get back and help.
Look out, good run here by Jean Alexandre, and a good intervention there by Pozniak as the Haitian forward finds Cockerty. Good ball. Noel Williams tried it through, and there's Burgess to clear away. Only as far as Mannon. And then West Knight trying to steal in. Kevin Sakuda on the ball. Sakuda cutting inside. 3 white shirts, and then a long effort, and it's in the back of the goal!
Good strike, but I thought Jay Nolly could have done a little better on that one. I don't know if he saw it late. I was blinded a bit, but he got down a bit late and palmed it into the side netting rather than out and round for the corner. So 2-1, we've got a bit of a game on our hands here.
Jean Alexandre, who we talked about at the offset, being a very powerful looking player that we were told to look out for. And this is a long distance effort, and Jay Nolly maybe just a little bit too far at the near post as he sticks it into the back of the goal. In minute number 34, it's now the Whitecaps 2 and Austin 1. And a little bit of a setback for the men in white, who thought they had this game firmly in command, as Taka Harano plays wide for Burgess. And again, Harano going long, looking for Haber in a foot race with Evans, and Haber has the pace, but just has to see it off. And maybe we'll get a chance to, well, Tater Torderson's gone back into his technical area. We were about to drop down and visit with him and get his thoughts, and I think his thoughts have changed a little bit here in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, it might not be a good time to talk to him now. You might want to wait a few minutes till he settles down. Disappointing to give that goal away, and it really puts Austin back in the game. I think 2-0 down, you know, it's easy to drop your heads, and the Whitecaps can get the tails up and get at them. 2-1 now, you've got to be careful, you're back in the game.
Flag was up on the far side. 34th minute for Jean Alexandre's goal, as the Haitian has cut the lead in half now with Pozniak. And maybe while the ball's on the deck, we do drop down to Kristen Reed and the thoughts of Tater Torderson.
Thank you, Peter. Coach, maybe you can just tell us what happened there on that goal. Where did you see the breakdown?
Well, it's apparently a good shot from distance, and I think possibly that Jay didn't see it when the shot went off. So I think it's just a little mistake there, but nothing serious. But it's 2-1 now, and we have to be aware now because they're playing well, and we haven't got the control on the game that we wanted. So we'll see.
Thanks for this. Good luck.
Thanks.
Peter?
Yeah, I think a fairly honest assessment from Tina there. I think I said that. I don't know if Jay didn't see that till late or he had his starting position wrong. And I think Tina's quite right. They are playing quite well. I think the Aztecs have came in to play, and they play decent football. I think the Whitecaps probably have a little bit more quality about them. And, you know, they've scored 2 good goals, but this game's not over by a long way.
And Austin winning their first corner of the match here in minute number 37. And it's Godbolt coming over to take this. Silva showed short for a moment. But the expansion visitors would love to get back on level terms before halftime. Decent ball whipped in too. Pozniak straight up in the air and just over the goal for another corner.
And Williams was coming in for that. Posniak had to get into that and get his head on it. Otherwise, Williams would have been coming in with a clear header on goal.
Godbolt whipping in a good ball the last time. Let's see if he can do it again. Near post this time, and Haber was the man there to clear it to midfield. Sullivan Silva chipped it back in. Everybody stays on side as Sakuda steps forward. Closed down by Knight. Sakuda very familiar with playing on this pitch, that's for sure. He's a member of the Sounders, and then the ball is hammered into touch.
Yeah, he's done quite well there to stay on side as well. Looked along the line, made sure he was okay, and did well to get the ball and keep it in.
And it'll be Sakuda who takes the throw. Short for Godbolt. McMahon.
Good pressure from Gordon Chin there, who's forced an error from them, and Whitecaps have a bit of a breakaway. But simply just hard work from Gordon Chin to close down the ball and really chase a lost hope there, and it caused a problem and got the ball back.
The goal scorer, Alexandra, plays it wide for Sullivan Silva, 1v1 with Hirano. And you see a lot of fancy footwork from the Brazilian, and he gets away from that. Has a ball whipped in, back post to him. It was Pejic who slipped and fell. The Whitecaps a little fortunate there was nobody there to cash in.
Well, that was absolutely brilliant work by Silva there. He's got two players coming at him, and he's done some little magic footwork there to get past him. And Hirano's dived in and gone over the ball, and he's just finished up clean through. Look at this little footwork here. He's kept possession and a little bit of uncertainty at the back there, and he's done very well. He's got a bit of skill about him, hasn't he?
Tell you what, Adrian Heath's team has a little bit of belief right now as the Whitecaps lead by 2-1 in minute number 39. If you need to check a match score, find out who's on top of the goal scoring charts, or catch up on the latest news, it's uslsoccer.com. There's an important header there by Evans ahead of Marcus Haber. West Knight whips it in and Evans clears away. uslsoccer.com, play with passion. As again, Knight running at 2 red and white stripes, carries on in the box and just led the ball a little bit too far ahead of himself. Otherwise, he was in great position.
Well, he's really unlucky there. It's a great little run, and what a positive run that is as well. He's got a bit of belief as well. You know, he's really gone at the fullback. Just ran out of turf in the end, but he was almost there to pull it back, and what a great goal that would have been. What a great run.
Delarusso back to Sakuda. McMahon. Penalty Versailles. Went in very impolitely.
They might have said it was a late tackle, and he says it wasn't when I started.
3 fouls for the goal scorer, one of the goal scorers. He opened the scoring for the Whitecaps. And then Silva plays it back to Gareth Evans, who is Welsh. Chips through, looking for Noel Williams, but that's knotted down by Pejic. And away goes West Knight once again. Closed down by Godbolt. Through ball over the head of Haber and all the way into the arms of the goalkeeper. And the Whitecaps might be better served by getting back to what they were doing earlier. Balls on the deck and maybe feeding in Charles Biquet and trying to work from there.
What's interesting, Peter, is the different shapes they play, the different formations. The Whitecaps are playing with a basic 4-4-2, and Austin are playing with a 4-3-3. And when the Whitecaps do not have possession, instead of having a spare man at the back, they're pushing someone else into midfield, so they've got 3 players one-on-one at the back and picking up, and that's a little bit dangerous in as much as they've not got a covering player, but they're trying to match up in midfield so they don't get overloaded in midfield. And Austin certainly playing with 3 up front, and to come to a place like Swangard with the Whitecaps away from home and play with 3 up front is a statement for me that they've come to play. They've not come to play 1 up front and defend. Even if 2 up front, you know, they've come to play, but with 3 up front, they've come to play. They've come to try and win the game.
Sakuda finding Noel Williams, back to goal, little touch to the outside. Godbolt inside for McMahon. Through ball, cut out there by Posniak. And then Burgess. Posniak wearing the armband for the Whitecaps, the team skipper. Burgess did well to hold. Versailles then finds Biquet, who's camped out wide, and he tried to play the early return. Not a bad idea. Whitecap throw, and again, Adrian Heath off his bench, shouting instructions, very animated, very passionate, one of the reasons why he was hired for the job. As assistant manager at Coventry City, decided a new challenge was in order, and especially starting a team from the ground up, which is, I think, many managers' dream is to be able to create it all.
It's nice to, you know, have a start and build, but sometimes it can be frustrating. You want to do well right away, and it takes a few years to gel and build a team and build a philosophy that how you want your players to play. I can certainly appreciate that with what I do at the university, where it's a bit more difficult than doing a job at the Whitecaps, where you can bring players in and out. But it's a challenge, and it's rewarding at the end when your team plays well. So he's done a good job, Adrian Heath, and in the short time he's been there. They play a good brand of football, and they're not a bad team. And the results haven't gone for them this year. It's an expansion year, but I think they could be a team of the future. And if they build and develop and get better quality players in, the style of football they're playing, I think they sell the game because it's entertaining to watch.
I think it's a good USL market as well. As we remind you that at the Whitecaps match on September 13th against Austin, you could join Team PowerSmart and be entered to win a pair of tickets to a 2010 Olympic event. For more details, go to whitecapsfc.com. As we are down to 3.5 minutes, at least 2.5 minutes from the halftime whistle, pending stoppage time. Don't know if there'll be a whole lot, as the teams really are trying to get on with it here at Swangard Stadium. The fans not happy with that clearance into touch. Tater Torderson looking on. With a deep-rooted 85-year history in the sport, Umbro is the longest-standing football brand in the world, headquartered in Manchester, England. Umbro supports many of the top teams in the world. And for more information, visit www.umbro.com. Noel Williams back to Pejic. Little ball played wide, but just too far for Sakuda. The Whitecaps will have a throw.
Yeah, a bit sloppy Williams there. He's spun and trying to play the ball in behind the fullback, but just a little bit sloppy with the pass. Not had his great performance tonight, but he's still a player that could turn a game if you give him half a yard.
McMahon gets it back at midfield. Noel Williams shrugging off his man, and then McMahon again, who came in as a first half substitute. Della Russo and then Evans. The Austin number 4, up the line it goes. Cut out nicely there by Burgess. Cockerney, and then all the way back, Horst. Evans sends it long, but that's going to go straight into the penalty area, and no problem for Jay Nolly, who will, not sure how he'd feel about that goal, but Tater Torderson, from his standpoint, did see quite a few maze of Whitecaps in front of that shot. It was just a very well-taken shot by Jean-Alexandre.
Well, it was a good shot, a quick shot taken, and I thought Jay might have been a bit unsighted. It's hard for us to see from up here, but he did see it late and got his hand to it, and normally I'd like to see the goalkeeper push that round the post, but he finished up pushing it into the side net. So I'm sure he'd like to have that one back again, but good shot. If you don't shoot, you don't score. So a good goal.
Perano. Burgess let it run off and quickly put back into play. Cockerney, and then Horst with Charles Biquet in front of him. Silva with Perano all over him, and that'll be a free kick for the visitors.
Perano a little bit rough on the challenger. He's gone over his back and won the header. I mean, he's gone for the ball, there's no doubt about that, but I think it certainly is a foul.
Mark Buda about to indicate first half stoppage time. I can't imagine there'd be much. 1 minute to be added, and we are into stoppage time right now. Wouldn't Austin love to score a late equalizer here in first half stoppage time, as Chin lost it. Little touchdown from Jean-Alexandre, and in goes Pejic to tidy up and sends it left-footed and into touch. Well, at least it did stay on the park. Good job by Pejic to keep it in. Evans plays it back, and then Noble for Sakuda. West Knight lurking over on the far side. And he wanted it back from Kevin Sakuda. Long diagonal ball finds Silva. Perano got in front of him this time and taken away nicely by Burgess. Is there a late opportunity for the Whitecaps here as Burgess turns on the Jets? Burgess, left-footed, floated ball to the back post, and nobody in that neighborhood off for a goal kick, and that might be the last action of the first half.
Yeah, that's just about to say it out. And a few complaints to the referee there. That Takarana might have held Silva back there, but no danger done. I think if they'd scored on a breakaway, there might have been a few complaints, but no damage done. Half time, 2-1 for the Whitecaps, and really a good entertaining first half. That was quite enjoyable.
Kennels Versailles' first goal in minute number 11, and Charles Biquet's 10th in all competition in minute number 23 staked the Whitecaps to a 2-0 lead, but it was a pretty good shot by Jean-Alexandre to make it 2-1, and that's how the teams head to the tunnel here as we prepare for the break. And overall, I think the Whitecaps and Austin will be looking back saying they played an entertaining first 45 minutes. Maybe not the most tidy first 45 minutes. And certainly the Whitecaps would love to get another goal to pad the cushion a little bit here.
Yeah, I think it has been a good first half. 2-0 up, it looked like the Whitecaps might run away with it a bit tonight, and it could have been, you know, an easy game for them. But that goal is a very important goal for Austin, and it puts them back in the game, and it gives the players a bit more belief.
Setanta Sports interview on the pitch. Kristen Reed is standing by with Wes Knight.
Thank you, Peter. West, a 2-1 lead after the half. It should have maybe have been 2-0. Unfortunate to give up that one.
Yeah, it was a little unfortunate. I mean, came on the break, a little counter. I think maybe we weren't keeping the ball as good as we needed to, and got a little tired towards the end. But I think that's one of the factors that coach is going to bring up, just to keep the ball, let the ball do the work, and we got to conserve the lead so something like last week, given a draw, doesn't happen again.
Do you have to make sure you take advantage of these teams? You have a favorable schedule down the stretch, and you have an opportunity to make up some ground here.
Yeah, and it's great for us because we can roll into the playoffs with a lot of confidence coming off big wins. And so it's very vital for us to put away these teams so we can roll with a good confidence boost into the playoffs.
You did set up the first goal. Those long throw-ins in that corner has been very good to you.
Yeah, it's great. The fans over there are always pushing behind me and telling me great things in my ear, so it makes it a little bit easier, and it's good to be able to help get a point on the scoreboard.
Well, good luck in the second half. Thanks for doing it.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
West Knight now leads the league with 7 assists. Stay with us. We'll have an interview with Thomas Neendorf, the head coach of the residency teams, coming up on Save on Foods, Vancouver Whitecaps Soccer on Shaw.
The City of Calgary's Southland Leisure Centre offers swimming, fitness, and recreation opportunities for all ages. For details, visit calgary.ca/leisure centres or call 311.
Watch the Flight Center Travel Guys weekly on Shaw TV.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Discover what makes one great destination unique from the next. Flight Center Travel Guys. See the world in less than 5 minutes.
Yikes.
Making new friends is hard, really hard, but thankfully recycling is easy.
The countdown is on with Shaw TV's Powered to Win. Join host Johanna Ward every week for profiles and stories that will bring international focus to Vancouver and Whistler. Watch Powered to Win only on Shaw TV.
Canadian Doormaster for sales and service of garage doors for residential, commercial, and industrial projects. Overhead, rolling, swinging doors, and more. Canadian Doormaster offers 24-hour service and is a proud supporter of the Vancouver Whitecaps.
Welcome back to Save on Foods, Vancouver Whitecaps Soccer on Shaw TV. The Whitecaps up 2-1 at the half, and also looking to score again this year is the residency team. And with us, the managing director and head coach of the residency team, the Whitecaps, Thomas Neendorf. Coach, I just wanted to ask you first about the start of the third year for this group. How exciting has it been to see this program grow?
It's been a very exciting process for us building this residency program. It's our third year we are starting. The first 2 years, I think, have been very successful. We have moved quite a number of players towards our men's team. We have moved players to Europe into apprentice opportunities, and we had with Adam Strait even a player who has already signed on with a professional organization in Germany. So it's been definitely something we are very proud of as an organization, and looking forward to go forward with it.
You placed a number of players on the U17 team and Canada's U20 team. How are these players, are they having great success now at the national team? Is there hope that obviously these are players that can contend to be on the national squad?
It's one of the big goals we have with the residency program to prepare, identify, develop, prepare players for national duties, and hopefully we will see some of them playing for our national team and qualifying for a World Cup.
You've taken on more international players this season as well. What's the goal now with those players as well? Did you just want to have a mix of now you're having the local players with the international side?
we set quite some high standards with the first 2 years, and it's not that easy to find quality players across Canada, 14, 15, 16 players. So we have started to recruit players from the US, from Jamaica, so we have youth national team players from 3 different countries in our program, and that makes our program altogether stronger, especially for our Canadian players, because they have very good players besides them, and that makes our training environment more competitive. And of course, if we go on international tours and play exhibition games, or we go to international tournaments, it just makes the whole experience for everybody involved way better, especially for our Canadian players.
And what about some of those overseas trips? There was one to Japan. You came out with, it was 3 wins through that trip. How has the success been overseas? Are you impressed with how this team is faring?
We have played twice in Germany. We went to actually 3 times in Germany. We went to Japan. We have this year another country in mind where we want to go. And all the exhibition games against very quality development, professional development programs, including the tournaments we have played, we have been absolutely at even par with those programs. That shows us we are on the right pathway, and that our players have the potential to compete with the best players of their age group around the world. And it's a big expectation we are putting on ourselves, but I guess that's the way we have to go.
And what about the local players that you're finding? Where are you scouting? Where are you finding these players?
We have a very good relationship to the National Training Center program and to the youth national team scouting process of Canada. So we are pretty much aware of the best players across the country. And of course, having with Toronto FC, another or an MLS team in the eastern part of Canada, we cannot recruit anymore some of the players coming out of Toronto, but still Canada is big, and we have very good relationships. We know where the players are, and we have good help of people who make us aware of them.
Well, good luck this season. Thank you so much for this.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Thomas Aindorf, the head coach and managing director of the residency squad. Now, are you the BMO Ultimate fan? You can log on to bmosoccer.com for your chance to win tickets to the Whitecaps game on September 13th. BMO is a proud supporter and loyal fan of Vancouver Whitecaps FC. Stay with us. We still got plenty to come on Save on Foods, Vancouver Whitecaps Soccer on Shaw.
Truck Accessories has a large selection of aftermarket accessories for trucks. Located at 430A 40th Avenue Northeast, Truck Accessories.
Hey, Lindsay.
Hey.
Have you got any Post-its?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, do you want to go out sometime? Hey.
WHL Hockey is live on Shaw. Catch the NHL stars of tomorrow today. The Western Hockey League, building the world's finest talent. Watch Thursday, September 17th, when the Ed Chenault Cup champion Kelowna Rockets and Vancouver Giants drop the puck on a brand new season of exciting action. WHL Hockey, only on Shaw.
Welcome back to Save on Foods, Vancouver Whitecaps Soccer on Shaw TV. We're here with Hugh Hamilton, who is a soccer ambassador here with the Vancouver Whitecaps. And a lot of this obviously has to do with the Kicking with the Caps program. For those who aren't familiar with the program, Hugh, maybe you can just tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. Kicking with the Caps is a program that gives youth soccer players a special role at a Whitecaps game. So what we do is we offer affordable tickets to youth soccer players, their coaches, family and friends, bring them out to the game. And then once they come out, we have special activities for them.
How important is it for the club to get these minor players in and get them special access to the pros?
I think it's really important because the kids, they get a pretty big thrill out of interacting with professional athletes. So hopefully that will inspire them to remain excited about and have a passion for soccer for the rest of their life.
So some of the exciting things they get to do is they're the ball collectors on the sidelines. They play the games at halftime. What are some of the other programs that you have for them?
Flag bearers for the opening ceremonies. There's a pregame clinic with Whitecap coaches and players. And then probably the most popular activity, the escorts, who come onto the field with the pros to start the game.
Now, how did the players get selected for this?
Well, the best way is just to call the office. Our office number is 604-669-WAVE, and then just ask for me. We do it, we try to get youth clubs on board, but sometimes we have youth teams come out as well.
Those kids always look so excited when they're holding the hands of the players and escorting them out onto the field. Can you feel the excitement in them? You have to usually calm them down before they head out there?
Oh, for sure. As soon as we bring them in the tunnel, then they're in another world. One of the parents last year told me a boy from Caristell was an escort, and before he went to sleep that night, he said, "Mom, that was the best day of my life." So, yeah, it's definitely exciting.
And now, do you have to give special instructions to the poor kids that collecting the balls near the Southsiders? It's got to be a tough job for some of them to handle.
Yeah, we try to put the most mature kids, and we warn them that they might hear some bad language from time to time, and as long as they're okay with it, then I think it's fine.
Great. So anyone who wants to get involved, they get a hold of you, Hugh Hamilton, at the Whitecaps office. That's right?
Yeah, that's right.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for this, Hugh Hamilton, soccer ambassador with the Vancouver Whitecaps. Now, here at Swangard, of course, we have a 2-1 lead for the Vancouver Whitecaps. For highlights and analysis of how this all played out, let's send it back up to Peter Shad and Alan Arrington.
All right, Kristen, a very entertaining first half, and things got underway in minute number 11, and another West Knight long throw-in paid dividends.
The marking wasn't very good at the back here, and really the long throw-in comes in, and I think Vassell's is on his own standing there, and nobody's picked him up. And a good header. I mean, it's a good throw-in, obviously, but he's had to put a bit of power behind that and place it in the corner, and he's done well to do that. But really poor marking by the Austin defenders.
Then in minute number 23, a great flick back by Charles Biquet. Haber keeps his feet, and Biquet is the guy who puts the finish.
Well, it almost looks like he challenges Marcus Haber for the ball. You see Haber does well to get in. He's lining up to shoot, but Biquet nicks in and takes it off him, and it's 2-0 for the Whitecaps.
And then in minute number 34, Kevin Sakuda laid off a little ball for Jean Alexandre, and the Haitian ripped it past Jane Ollie, who just had it spin off his hands.
Well, it's a good strike. He gets a good first touch out of his feet, and he hits it. Takes a bit of a bounce, but I think Jane Ollie's got to do a little bit better than that, and either parry it away from the goal and out for a corner, or at least get a piece of it and stop it going in.
Those are your BC Hydro halftime highlights. As far as the scoring summary is concerned for the province, it was minute number 11, the Whitecaps opening the scoring, and then BK in minute number 23, Alexandra in minute number 34. As far as the stats go, the Whitecaps out shooting the Aztecs. Austin with the only 2 corners of the match so far, and the fouls favoring the Whitecaps. Second half kickoff coming up next. You're watching Save On Foods, Whitecaps Soccer on Shaw.
And now for your Team PowerSmart Quick Tip. If all households used a clothesline or drying rack to dry laundry 50% of the time, enough electricity could be saved each year to power the city of Richmond for 3 months.
So be sure to use a drying rack or clothesline instead of a dryer. Join me on my other team, Team PowerSmart.
At almost every sporting event, concert, and theater production are empty seats. Empty seats that could be filled with joy, discovery, and possibilities. That ticket you can't use could mean the world to a kid who's never been to a hockey game, or a family that's struggling to make ends meet. If you can't use your ticket, Kids Up Front knows thousands of deserving kids who could. Fill empty seats with happy hearts. Call Kids Up Front or visit kidsupfront.com.
CIS Canada West football is live on Shaw. Catch the best of the best battle it out for Western Canada gridiron supremacy. Tune in Friday, September 4th when the defending champion Calgary Dinos and Saskatchewan Huskies kick off the 2009 season under the Friday night lights. CIS Canada West football, only on Shaw.
Save on Foods, Whitecap Soccer from Swangard Stadium. A very intriguing second half shaping up, featuring the defending champions and the USL New Boys. As Adrian Heath's squad getting back into the game with that goal. Just the one substitution in the first half, and that was Ryan McMahon coming on for defender Kieran Bernard. Whitecaps have stood pat. They'll have Jay Nolly in goal with Martin, Pejic, Pozniak, and Hirano at the back. Knight, Chin, Versailles, and Burgess through midfield. BK and Haber up front. And for Austin, it's Noble in goal, Sakuda, Horst, Evans, and now De La Russo through midfield. Silva, Alexandra, Godbolt, and up front Williams, Noel Williams, I should say, Cockerty, and just trying to find the final Austin forward. In any event, not a changed 11 to start this second half, and it's intriguing, Alan, because we haven't seen this happen too often, where we've had 3 goals in the first half and a pretty positive play from both sides. And the Whitecaps could either run away with this one, attacking their favorite south side in the second half, or we could have another tie game on our hands.
Well, I think I don't think the scoring's over. I think there'll be another goal at least in the game tonight, and I think the next goal is absolutely critical. If it's the Whitecaps, I think they'll win it fairly handily. If it's the Austin Aztecs to score, I think it could be a cracker of a game on. But again, it certainly sets up a good second half, and I think Austin have come to play. I really do. I think Adrian Heath's got them wound up. He's obviously into the game, and with them playing with 3 up front and getting at the Whitecaps and trying to play and pass the ball, I think they've come to try and win the game, and credit to them for that. How many times have we seen teams turn up here, we play with one striker up front and sit back and play for the break? Austin have actually come trying to play.
Edmonton's Dave Ganter gets the second half underway. The Whitecaps all in Umbro white from top to bottom. And Austin in the red and white stripes, also in Umbro tonight, red shorts, red socks. As we start the second half, Peter Shad and Alan Arrington, happy to have you for our final Save on Foods Whitecap Shaw broadcast of 2009. And what has been a very interesting season for the Whitecaps, with all sorts of interesting issues, fights on the field, lightning storm delays. It's been kind of wild this year, as the Whitecaps send it forward into Austin territory. Good header down, and Kevin Sakuda touches inside. Cockerty will follow up here with a left-footed ball floated over the head of Noel Williams. And Burgess now operating over on that left flank will win a free kick.
He got a free kick there, a little bit high with a foot from the defender, but I thought he took a little bit of time there, Burgess, and showed a bit too much of the ball. Good crowd again tonight for a midweek game. It's I think Wednesday nights are always a bit of a tough sell in sports, but the Whitecaps get such a good following every night we come here. There's a good crowd.
Great flick by Haber, and then BK was just held up there as he was battling with Horst. And the goalkeeper takes over, Nick Noble. As far as substitutes that Tater Torderson has to draw on tonight, he has Marco Reda on the bench along with Mason Trafford. Jordy Lyle is dressed. Anzu Toure may come in. Azar Kalfin, not starting, but available in the center midfield. And Randy Edwini Bonsu, who the fans are quickly becoming attached to. As for Adrian Heath, he has Kyle Brown on the bench, along with Jarvis Holmes, Jamie Watson, Wes Allen, and Mike Callahan. As we look at Marcus Haber. Dunbar boy, Todd Warasek, looking down at his notes, Whitecaps assistant coach. And Godbolt playing it inside. And now onto the feet of Sakuda. Interesting that Silva has now switched over to the near side. So he's basically remained on the near touch line. With Evans playing it along the deck, Chin reaching out, but Takahirano there to steal. Burgess, right-footed ball floated forward. BK backing up, gets ahead of his man, Charles BK. Top of the box, lays down, West Knight steps into it and lets it rise over the south side. But again, Charles BK doing a great job at the top of the box to hold up and lay off.
Well, he was the only man forward there. He does well to actually hold it up. He's on his own, Charles BK. Not a lot he can do with that, but he turns, he sees West Knight, good little layoff. And I think a rush of blood there from West Knight. He'd like to have that one back and have another go at it. And never really on. I think he was closed down too quick. But he blasted over the top for the goal kick.
Minute 48. And the Southsiders getting to work on Nick Noble here in the second half.
Gordon Chin in a challenge in midfield with McMahon. And then Noel Williams trying to turn the corner in Whitecap territory. Drifts a little ball forward, and that's just a bit too far for his teammates. And that forces a throw in there as Pozniak wasn't sure, Pejic wasn't sure where he could go with it. So a deep throw opportunity now for the visitors from Austin. McMahon. Closed down by Chin. And off Chin and out.
Gordon Chin, a busy little guy in midfield again. And always buzzing around, working hard, closing down.
Hirano keeps his feet. Lost it in the end as Della Russo stole. Now it's McMahon, who's been busy since coming on in the second half. A good tactical change for Adrian Heath after the second goal. Pozniak looked like he was held back as the ball is played all the way through to Jay Nolly as the fans trying to arrange one of the bigger flags to spread out across the grandstand right now, right next to us. Away goes Lyle Martin. Turns it on into third gear. A little poke forward for West Knight and a good tackle away as Sakuda knocks it into touch. And here's a chance for West Knight to throw another long one in.
Yeah, nice to see Lyle Martin back in the fold again and over his injury, trying to get a bit more consistency in his play and get back into the fold. But he was out for a good while there with a bad injury, and it's good to see him back in. A good run up the field there.
Good clearing header away. Noel Williams, the lone man up front for Austin. Nice little layoff there as Silva steps forward. Cuts inside on Martin. Drifts a ball into space. And here's a little bit of an opportunity unless Burgess gets back. And good job by Burgess to close things down. Godbolt comes inside for McMahon. Back for Godbolt. Into the Whitecap penalty area. Noel Williams keeps his feet, has the ball at his feet. Lays it down and a hammering drive into the side netting. And a decent opportunity. Noel Williams a little disappointed that ball didn't get whipped across.
Yeah, you'd be looking at it's a quite a wide angle to get a strike on and beat Jane Ollie from there at the near post, you know. They've done well to carve something out of this because it's quite well defended. Good ball wide, that's got to be a cross. That he's had a rush of blood again and tried the shot at the near post. There's no chance he's going to score from there.
Marcus Haber almost had the ball bounce through for him once again, and now Lyle Martin's going to have to nod this ball backwards for Jane Ollie. As we've now played 51 minutes and the Whitecaps leading still by those 2-1. Versailles and BK. Versailles first as a Whitecap, BK's 10th in all competitions this season. Cocherty, Silva, through ball, and here's the goal scorer. Jean-Alexandre, the Whitecaps knock it into touch.
Well, they're making the Whitecaps work for the money tonight. They've really, come on, they're pushing forward.
Sakuda into the penalty area, Hirano to nod it clear, and Lyle Martin to help it on into midfield. Cocherty keeps it in though, and here's Alexandre. Top of the box. Silva has Sakuda overlapping. Whitecap steal though, and Versailles will knock it, but it's a little too late. The ball was already out. Only one place to see who's best in the USL, and that's USLsoccer.com. Play with passion. As you're watching this on USL Live or Shaw here at the Lower Mainland. And the Whitecaps will have a few more encounters on USLLive.com, including the game against Austin on the 13th of this month. Whitecaps' next action this Friday in Minnesota as West Knight crosses midfield. Pokes it through for BK. Good shoulder challenge there by Horst. And the ball is off and out for a Whitecap throw.
Good play from West Knight. He looks a bit busy tonight, doesn't he? He certainly turned up with a good work ethic and a good attitude to get at the fullback.
Martin. With BK coming to show. And now Marcus Haber checking off his man off the chest. That's taken away by Godbolt. Nice little layoff, give and go with Noel Williams. It's Godbolt charging forward. Gordon Chin to close down. And again, AJ Godbolt. Inside for Cocherty. Wide for Sullivan Silva. Overlapping is Sakuda. And there's Kevin Sakuda on his left foot. Cuts inside beautifully on Martin into the penalty area. Sakuda goes for a tumble. And it's a free kick the other way for grabbing the ball.
Free kick for diving, actually. And I thought he did a decent job, the guy. turning into the box, because it's always dangerous there. And you know, I've seen penalties given for worse than that. Look, he's cut back from Lyle Martin there. He's got in the box. He's in an area where now it's dangerous, and Lyle Martin's got a touch on that. And I think he's fallen on there. Whether that's a booking for him for diving, I'm not too sure, but certainly good play from the striker, trying to get forward. Actually, he's a defender who's up front there, but trying to get into the box and be in charge of the ball. Lyle Martin keeping his eye on the ball and making a good tackle to save the day.
Don't know how that could be a free kick, though. I could see it being a yellow card, but maybe he did touch the ball when he was going down to try to draw the penalty, which is certainly a pet peeve, and I think FIFA has to stamp that out, this diving and then grabbing the ball, which basically cons the referee into doing something.
Interesting with the Arsenal situation in the Champions League, where they've studied the Brazilian lad, sorry, the Croatian lad going down and getting a penalty. And I think they've opened up a real can of worms by doing that. We're going to have video replays, because if they're going to charge him for that, I think the game's going to turn on its head, and every time we see a penalty or a foul, there's going to be appeals and TV replays. So I think as much as you want to stamp it out, I think they've set a precedent there, and it's going to be interesting how it develops.
Kennel Versailles with another pretty good look at a West Knight throw, but that one drifted wide, whereas in the 11th minute it found the back corner. Here in minute 55, still Whitecaps 2, Austin 1 from Swangard Stadium. Save on Foods Whitecaps soccer, and Noble getting the ball back in play.
28, Kevin.
As they announce the Sakuda caution, which makes me wonder if the Whitecaps should maybe try to work this side a little bit and test the fullback out for pace. They've got West Knight and Lyle Martin over here as the ball is played through. Biquet is way offside, and you can't fool Kevin DeLiba here from Langley on the near side.
Good call. He was off. We're right in line behind where Kevin DeLiba is, and he was a good yard offside as the ball was played forward.
It's the second time Charles has been caught offside, which is pretty good. West Knight inside for Chin. Had a bit of trouble with that one, but Taka Harano is there and plays it wide. Burgess has switched sides. Little pass inside from Haber, and the ball hammered over the east bleachers. Harano gets it back in quickly. Gordon Chin.
And Peter, the game's been played in a fairly good spirit tonight. There's not been any nasty tackles. The referees had a fairly easy job tonight, because they both played well within the laws of the game and played with a good spirit.
That might change, though, come September 13th when they play each other again. In 2 games in short succession, you get to know and dislike one another pretty quickly, as Chin in between 2 much larger Austin Aztec players, and the visitors come away with it. McMahon, dangerous ball in midfield as Godbolt gave it away. Chin tried to get around his man, but that was unsuccessful as De La Russo stepped in. Right-footed ball into midfield. John Alexandre, a bit of a tough back pass there for Cocherty. And then Noel Williams. Back for McMahon as Austin builds up on the ground. Done a nice job doing that here. Switched out wide for Sakuda. Silva. It's again Sakuda on the overlap. And the Whitecaps, a good slide in there by Pejic to win the ball back, and Pozniak plays it into the feet of West Knight, and West Knight will win himself a throw.
And a bit of advice from the coach there to his striker. He's quite correct. The ball played in by Silva was a decent ball, but the striker showed too much of the ball. He's got to get his arms out and make himself big so the defender can't get past him. If you just stand there with your arms in, there's an easier chance to get round. So Adrian Heath giving good information there.
Even to an experienced player like Noel Williams. And now here's the goal scorer. Jean-Alexandre, square ball, and a long hit from McMahon. The save by Nolly, and good save off Noel Williams, who got around on it with his left foot. And so 2 saves for Jay Nolly, maybe atoning for the goal there. The second one, I think, was a bit of a surprise that he even got it on target.
Well, he's okay with the first one. It's a good strike, you know, and Jay Nolly's got it. He's got down well, and he's not held on to it. But he did well there, and I don't think Jay Nolly knew much about the second one. Hit him in the face and off for a corner. Was it a corner kick, or was it a goal kick?
I don't know how it was a goal kick.
I don't know how it was a goal kick, because it came off Jay Nolly.
Whitecaps a little bit fortunate there in minute number 58. And Morano dwelling on the ball a little bit there, and the Whitecaps again fortunate as they have to perhaps be a little bit careful here. They need 3 points to galvanize that final playoff spot in USL 1. And they certainly don't want to have another late game equalizer allowed here at Swangard Stadium like they did against Rochester. Of course, there aren't any former Whitecaps to do the damage on the visitors tonight. As away goes Haber, who almost got in around Evans. They do win a deep throw, and so West Knight will do his magic once again here in minute number 59 as we approach the hour mark. And the fans on their feet and urging West Knight forward. Whitecap players flooding the box. As Knight again into the penalty spot. Touchdown. And again, it was Versailles, the target. And again,
really
it's off.
not very convincing defending by the Austin Aztecs at the back there. West Knight getting a good delivery in with a throw, and it's a great weapon that he's got to get it in the box there. But I think Austin a little bit disappointed the way they defended.
Haber stepped in. Is that the first Steve Nash? No, it's a goal kick. It was a Whitecap head that touched it last. Big change in the Whitecaps formation tonight is the fact that Martin Nash is not in the squad. Certainly an Iron Man at every level that he's played at, but his hamstring's giving him a little bit of trouble after a few games with an ankle that was sore. It's funny how one kind of leads to the other often.
Well, I think what happens with that is you overcompensate with a bad ankle and it pulls something else, and he has been an Iron Man. I think the only time Martin Nash has missed any games is either through national team duty or when he's been a naughty boy and he's had too many yellow cards, he's been suspended. So he's been an anchor and a rock in midfield, and Mr. Consistency really. So he's a bit of a miss tonight, although they're doing quite well without him.
And he was available. He might have even played tonight, but they're going to save him for the game in Minnesota on Friday. And that's probably good player management there, and it gives Kennel Versailles a chance to get some minutes. And he certainly made them work as the ball is drifted into the penalty area, and oh, what a chance!
That's a free header. That should have been a goal. I think he's a little bit fortunate, Jay Nolly, to watch that one go whizzing past the post. Great delivery in, and again, I thought the Whitecaps were a little bit flat-footed on that one, and he's literally in there, and that's a free header. He should do better than that. But a little bit flat from the Whitecaps. They've got to be a bit more lively and on their toes to deal with balls in like that. They can't be giving goals away at this stage of the game, especially on set plays.
David Horst drifting in from the back and eluding the marking of the Whitecap back line, very nearly leveled the scoreline. West Knight, and couldn't find the feet of BK, but does win a throw-in. And maybe Tater Torderson thinking about making some changes. Certainly there is some activity, as both Anzu Toure and Randy Edwini Bonsu are going through their warm-up paces. And I think both would bring a little bit of spark to this game right now as Lyle Martin goes for a tumble. Jean-Alexandre comes up with the ball, sends a right-footed through ball, and look out. It was Godbolt streaking through. Nolly very decisive. McMahon trying to get on the end of this. Gordon Chin goes for a tumble, and the Whitecaps will win a free kick.
That's the first sort of naughty tackle we've seen all night, that one, and he's lucky not to get a booking for that. Gordon Chin really a little bit fortunate not to get injured on that one. And it looks like Silver's down hurt on the near side, who was getting some treatment. Doesn't look very comfortable at all there. And I don't know if it's a knee injury, but he certainly looks in distress.
BK's shirt being pulled back by Evans. So right now Austin down to 10 men as Versailles on his right foot drifts it towards Charles BK. BK let it run. I think he might have tried to leave it for Burgess. And Austin comes up with it as Noel Williams has dropped back a little bit. Alexandre, Doherty, and Sakuda. Trying to go wide on West Knight. I'll tell you, Kevin Sakuda does not look like a player that should have been released from Montreal given his
He's had a strong game tonight. He's done very well. He's kept possession well. He's joined in. He's got forward well, and he looks as if he's in his prime. He's really doing well, and Montreal's let him go. It's Austin's game really. He's had a good game for him tonight.
Sometimes good for a player to get a fresh start and maybe a new voice to listen to. Montreal, by the way, 1-0 winners over Carolina today as they leapfrog Rochester, and the ball is off and out, and it's a goal kick.
And Burgess there with the cross, really too high and over the ball for everybody to get onto. He's been a bit quiet tonight from what he did when he came on In the first game we saw him play, I thought he looked really lively and busy and was a bit of a handful. But tonight he's been very quiet and not as effective.
You just saw Silva step back onto the park, and here he gets the ball against Lyle Martin, so he's okay. Wins a free kick as well.
He's a tricky little player, isn't he? And Lyle Martin just getting dragged in a bit too tight there. He's got to just back off a half a yard, stay on his feet, make him play the ball back. He's done a decent job, but he's got dragged in. He's trying to get too tight, and he gives a free kick away.
Sakuda drifts it through for Noel Williams. His header straight up in the air. Godbolt on the end of this. And I wonder what Kevin Sakuda must think, seeing a lot of his teammates with the Seattle Sounders winning the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup today with a 2-1 win over DC United. Congratulations to the Seattle Sounders. What an inaugural season. They're going to set an attendance record. They're going to have a trophy in the cabinet in their first season, and they're certainly in the playoff hunt.
Yeah, what a story that is in Seattle. You know, it's always been a great town for football, for soccer, and over the years, certainly in the old NASL days, used to get 72,000 in the Kingdom. And I think those days are coming back in Seattle because they've got a great organisation, they've got a fantastic stadium, it's world class, and if that's what they've got, the Whitecaps have this to come. BK! Oh, what a goal! What a good goal!
Terrific cross in after a build-up involving Chin and Burgess, and Charles Piqué nodding home in minute number 65 to cushion the Whitecaps lead. It's the Whitecaps 3, Austin Aztecs 1.
What a good finish. What a header. Good ball forward. Great touch out of his feet. Crossing the box. PK doing what he does best. He scores with his head, and what a good header that was. It's the cross sets him up. Goalkeeper has no chance. And again, I said the next goal will be important. The Whitecaps are 3-1 up. If they keep playing, it could be 4 or 5. But Austin certainly come in and played well tonight. But 3-1 for the Whitecaps, and this could be turning point in the season for the Whitecaps. Good result if they can finish up winning it, but a good performance as well.
It's Taka Hirano who whipped it in left-footed after a nice little exchange with Burgess and Chin, and then Charles Piqué on the end of it, so Taka Hirano gets credited with the setup. 11th goal of the season for Piqué. He's just peaking at the right time this season, that's for sure, as Evans knocks it out, and that could be it for Austin tonight here in minute number 66.
Well, BK has certainly become the scoring machine for the Whitecaps, hasn't he? He's the most consistent scorer this season, without any doubt. But 2 in the game tonight, he's got to be feeling pretty good about himself.
Jamie Watson is about to come on in place of Silva, who I guess did take a knock. And that's an Energy Max sub in minute number 66.
Replaced by number 77, Jamie Watson.
So Watson in and Silva out, and that's one little headache the Whitecaps won't have to worry about, at least on this near side, as West Knight serves in another long throw. And again, it's Versailles who just puts it over the far post.
Well, again, crosses in the box causing some problems for the Austin Aztecs, and every header looking at Charles BK, and every ball that goes in the box, you really expect him to score a goal.
Winning ticket draw.
5,081 fans, not a sellout at Swangard, so that streak is broken. But not a bad crowd on a Wednesday night.
It's not bad at all for the Wednesday night. I think that's a decent crowd, that. It's always more difficult in the midweek. People are working and kids are going to get to bed and that. The weekend's a bit easier for them. That's a decent crowd, 5,000.
And they've been well entertained. 4 goals and certainly a good fight put up by the visitors, and maybe another chance for Jean Alexandre. Noel Williams lays off. Here's McMahon rearing up, and that strike is blocked by Pedjic. BK with a nice little flick for Haber, and Burgess is on the trot and offside by just a whisker. The fans don't agree.
He was offside. He was a half a yard offside there, and really he's got no excuse for that. He's looking right along the line towards the linesman. You can see that you're the last man, and you just got to hold that run a little bit, and then you're in behind the defender.
Austin gets on with it. Noel Williams, despite looking like he might have been struggling with that hamstring problem, has stayed in the match and actually gotten better as the game's gone on. Maybe he's warmed up a little bit as the ball is poked through. Godbolt and Pedjic bringing down his man, but coming away with the ball, no foul. BK, good little turn, and battling in between 3 red striped shirts. And again, Taka Hirano steps forward.
He's offside again. You must look along that line. He cannot be offside there. That's poor play. He has to look across that line. It's so simple. and really that's taken away, because that's a great chance, 2 good chances to get forward with silly offsides.
That was Marcus Haber on that occasion. Minute number 69 now, and another Austin substitution, as it looks like they're sacrificing AJ Godbolt. So an Energy Max sub in minute number 69. In comes Jarvis Holmes. So Adrian Heath making some changes here, knowing that his team is down 3 goals to 1.
By number 15, Jarius Holmes. Austin substitution, minute 69.
Jarius Holmes. And they'll make another substitution in a minute here as well, as Kyle Brown is about to step in. Wes Knight in a battle on the near side touchline.
And the Whitecaps get the throw in.
Tell you what, Adrian Heath, if he fills out these lineup sheets, he's done a very poor job here tonight. Really difficult to read what he's written on the lineup sheets. Could be a doctor with his handwriting.
And then you look at Todd's writing on the other side, and he's
absolutely impeccable.
It's impeccable, yeah. All the T's and I's and everything. It's just marvelous.
Austin away with it again. Alexandra sidestepping Versailles. 2 Haitian players battling one another there. Deep in Whitecap territory. And a free kick, I think, will be charged to Tucker Hirano there.
And Tucker getting dragged in a little bit too tight there and giving the foul away.
Jamie Watson winning the free kick. And so a set piece opportunity with Godbolt on the bench. It might be Watson himself who takes this. As maybe this is an opportunity for Austin to get back in this game with a set piece in minute number 70. Whipped into the penalty area, and I think it was actually BK who might have been back to head that clear. Cockerney, diagonal ball, loops past everybody, and out for a Whitecap throw.
And good play by the Whitecaps there, just to push the line up and tighten the field up, and it really gets the strikers coming back away from the goal and making the ball over the top a little bit more difficult to play. And the diagonal ball is probably the best ball to play for the Aztecs there, but such good pressure pushing out, it's gone out of bounds.
Energy Max sub in minute 71. Noel Williams is swapped. Kyle Brown is in, so striker for striker.
And it looks like we have a sub coming on for the Whitecaps as well as
Nazar Calfin.
It's Calfin coming on.
Interesting that Noel Williams gave the headband to Kevin Sakuda. Watson. And no foul given, but the referee wants the trainer on the park after, I think it was Watson who was maybe felled by a tackle there. And you know, he's sore from a boot, but no foul was given. Here we have a good look at it. That might have been a foul.
Caught a clip there from Tucker Hirano. He's gone in and just caught his foot.
Well, now it is a foul, so maybe he was trying to play advantage. In any event, free kick for Austin. Just inside Whitecap territory. And it's Della Russo set to play this ball in. We've had a couple of occasions where they've gotten in behind Whitecap defenders. Nice little touchdown into the penalty area it goes. Oh, and a good chance for Watson, who was there and unmarked.
Well, there was 2 lining up for that one there, and a little bit slack at the back, but a good chance for the Austin Aztecs.
Della Russo falls as he tried to play a left-footed ball in, but it stays in for Horst. And then Horst's through ball goes all the way to Jay Nolly, who will pick that up against Kyle Brown, who's got plenty of MLS experience on his resume. Lyle Martin. Pedgick. Right-footed through ball for BK. Nice flick. Haber on the end of this, but so is the Austin defender, as Evans.
I think it was off West Knight for a throw, was it not? And here we have a sub, and Calfan is coming on. Is it Gordon Chin coming off?
Yep. So Energy Max sub in minute number 73. Gordon Chin with a warm round of applause. Nazar Calfin, the Tanzanian, will take over in central midfield. And we'll see another central midfield combination here, Versailles and Calfin.
Whitecap substitution.
Della Russo. Cockerney. Probing ball, looking forward for the newcomer. Kyle Brown. The Whitecaps win the throw. And Kaufman's first touch. Straight into touch. Let's see what kind of philosophy the Whitecaps employ here for the final 17 or so minutes. If they'll try to push forward and score some more goals. Or maybe Tater Torgerson might change things right around too and get some other players into the action as Pejic knocks it forward again. Bike on a hat trick here tonight. Sakuda. Chip outside. West Knight right in there. McMahon. Nice touchdown for Alexandre. Cockerney, right-footed through ball and just a little ahead of the forward, but he was offside in any event.
Yeah, a little through ball there, and it's not very often you see them knocking long balls over the top, Austin. They've tried to play their way through most of the game. They're playing it in the midfield quite well and been quite good with the ball and not giving the ball away.
Both teams wearing Umbro tonight, and with a deep-rooted 85-year history in the sport, Umbro is the longest-standing football brand in the world. Umbro combines its club heritage in sports tailoring, modern football insight to create groundbreaking, iconic football apparel and footwear. For details, visit www.umbro.com. As Knight plays it backwards for Martin. Ike, a nice little tussle there, but Horst will see it off and take the throw. 75th minute, Whitecaps 3 and Austin 1. Charles Biquet's second of the night is the insurance goal, and look out, here comes Terrell Burgess. First touch pretty good, and his second on target as a stretching Noble managed to corral that, but terrific chance for young Burgess.
Well, a good breakaway and a burst there from Burgess, but I thought it looked from here that he might have played with his left foot, but he played with his right foot and never caught the hold of it and give the goalkeeper a chance to make the save.
Long diagonal ball, again looking for Alexandre. That's going to test Lyle Martin. Alexandre gets in behind and makes it a close game. His second goal of the night. Lyle Martin beaten by Jean Alexandre, his second goal in minute 76, and it's the Whitecaps 3 and Austin 2.
Well, a bit of a mistake by Lyle Martin there. I think he's got to deal with that and clear the ball or play it back, whatever he's going to do, but he has to deal with that. The ball's played in, and really he's took a touch and it's landed right in his path, and the striker just slots it by Jay Nolly, and we've got a game on our hands again. It's 3-2 and 5 goals tonight, so the fans have certainly seen some action, but this game is not over yet.
Well, it's interesting because Terrell Burgess, having played with Alexandre in school, knew the danger, and Kendall Versailles is aware of him from his Haitian duty, and so there was a bit of a buzz about him as he's just joined the team basically on loan. The Whitecaps conceding the free kick, but he certainly lived up to the hype here tonight.
He has done that, and Lyle Martin maybe showed a bit of frustration there after the goal coming through with a bit of a wild late tackle and conceding the free kick.
Cockerney will switch play at the other side. Della Russo closed down by Burgess, who went in hard. Ooh, advantage given, but Burgess is going to be booked, you'd have to feel, after that. Now look out, Pejic couldn't deal with that, and the Whitecaps are floundering a bit here late and will give up a corner. And now the referee's going to stop play.
Are we going to see a yellow card, or are you just going to see it the injured player? I don't see any card coming out as of yet, so he may get away with one there, but certainly I've seen cards given for less than that. And he's not too happy that the tackle came in and the referee just played the advantage.
I thought it was a bit late. Terrell Burgess wandering over to that far quadrant now as Austin gets set for a corner, but that foot was high, and maybe he didn't make a connection. But I think you have to say that Burgess is a bit lucky. Ball whipped into the near post. Did it take a second touch? It did, and it's off Austin and out for a Whitecap goal kick.
Yeah, quite correct. It came off from there, but what a good corner kick in, and players attacking the ball. Well defended, but came off the red shirt in the end, and it's a goal kick.
Martin just manages to keep it in, sends a left-footed ball forward. Charles Biquet has worked a ton here tonight, try to hold those balls up. Chris Pozniak.
He's so far offside there, he nearly missed it. He's going to be about 5 or 6 yards offside there.
Might be a time in the game now, with it being 3-2, to bring in Randy Edwini Bonsu, and Anzu Toure is also getting ready. He's got to strip off, and sure enough, right on cue, both players approach the fourth officials area. The Whitecaps are going to add some speed and little something dynamic here in the late stages as they try to.
As a defender, Peter, there's nothing worse than being about the 78th minute and your legs are getting tired and you see two flyers coming on at you and you're going, oh my God, what's going on here? And they've got that. They've got two very quick players. Torre's no slouch, but Bonsu is absolute lightning. So that could be a positive move for the Whitecaps. And the defenders are certainly going to have their hands full when these two come on.
You have to think that maybe it'll be Burgess and Haber sacrificed as Pejic sends it to the edge of the Whitecaps penalty area. It took a flick off the Austin player. Noble steps off his line to claim that.
I would think you might be right with the subs, Peter. I cannot see bringing off Charles BK when he's on a hat-trick. It'd be very disappointing for him to be brought off when he's got a chance to get the match ball as a souvenir.
Pejic with a good move and then drifts it forward. I don't think we've had one Steve Nash Sports Club corner for the Whitecaps tonight, as the back pass a little bit strong for Noble, but he does deal with it. Hirano touches down, Versailles goes backwards, and Pozniak forced to thump it into midfield. Cocherty only as far as Versailles, who's done quite well, acquitted himself well in the center of midfield. Pejic, ooh, and that ball was left late. Pejic goes down but gets right back up again. West Knight chasing Sakuda. McMahon in the midfield circle, and Austin still able to maybe take some points.
That could be the first card here. A little bit late with the tackle, and the card is out. It's a yellow card for Versailles Canal. Or is it?
Yeah, it was. It was. That came in minute number 80 as Sakuda probing forward. This man on a hat trick too, Alexandre, as the ball is knocked into Whitecap territory. It's going to stay in play. And Horst will go back to his goalkeeper.
Number 13, Keno Versailles. Yellow card caution, minute 80.
Cocherty, another long ball forward that drifts past everybody. And after playing a lot of balls on the deck, short passes for Adrian Heath's team, they've resorted a little bit to a more direct approach as they try to get some points out of Swangard Stadium here. And Jay Nolly not in any hurry. Right-footed deep ball again. BK the target. Shrugs off his challenge.
Right.
Beautifully holds up.
Versailles.
Just been booked. Hirano, who set up the Whitecaps' third goal. Little through ball. And here's Terrell Burgess with a chance. Haber's in the box. So is BK. Lay off to BK, and he just couldn't get around on it with his left foot.
What a great setup from Burgess there. What a great run. And he kept on side. It's a great little ball forward. He's kept on side. He's took the ball, and it's a great little setback. Little pull back for Charles BK to come and have a strike on, but he's not really done well with that. Look at the ball that he plays back. Lovely little ball, and BK leaning back a little bit, and it's on over the crossbar.
Gordon Chin put in another solid effort here tonight. He's standing by with Kristen Reed.
Thank you, Peter. I was going to ask, did it seem like your team was actually getting control of the game, but the Aztec just doesn't want to go away? How do you kind of break down those mental mistakes and get this game back in hand?
Yeah, I mean, the first 20 minutes, I thought, we were doing well. We went up 2 goals, and then I guess just a few mental mistakes, and, we let them back into it, and we shouldn't have, and then we went up again 3-1, and, they got another one. So I think once we get on top, we need to just learn to just take the wind out of the game and keep the lead.
But you have the lead because of Charles BK. How solid has he been for this team? He seems to just be a consistent scorer.
Yeah, he's been great. I mean, goals always lift the team, and when you got someone who's scoring goals on a consistent basis, it's always going to help. So, I mean, putting the ball in the back of the net, it's helping us. I mean, if it's not coming from him, we've got other guys chipping in as well. So,
appreciate you taking the time. Good luck to your team.
Thanks.
Peter?
Toure and Versailles off the line.
What a chance.
Toure.
What a great run as well. That's absolutely great. We're on the same page here, Pete. But it was a terrific late run from the midfield position, and he'd done well to pass the ball into the net rather than blast it. But a defender in the way, and he's done well to clear it. So good build-up and good play.
Marcus Haber with a penetrating run into Austin penalty box. But Versailles just couldn't poke away his second, and now the Whitecaps kind of cheaply give it away. And while we were visiting with Gordon Chin there, Anzu Toure came on for Terrell Burgess, an Energy Max substitution. And Austin in possession, through ball. Nice little touchdown at the top of the box, but well dealt with by Pozniak. And Toure. Inside for Kalfin. And then nicely wide for West Knight. He's got BK ahead of him. into the feet of BK, tried to get around his man, and the Whitecaps do win a free kick.
That's obstruction. He's a bit of an old head on the centre back there. He knew what was going on. BK made a great little layoff in behind him for himself to chase there. And the big centre back says, I'm having none of that. You see him there, just block him off with his arm. That's a good foul to give away.
And as we see Calvin standing off the ball. BK and Versailles drifting up front. There's the through all the way to the goalkeeper. He muffed it. Toure pokes it just wide of the far post as Noble came out but couldn't hold it. And now Randy Adwini-Bonsu about to come in and bring more pace to the Whitecaps.
Yeah, he could set the world on fire here really with his pace if he gets the right service. Here's the ball played forward, and the goalkeeper really made a mess of that. And it's poked through and on target. I don't think there's anybody there to save that, but he just goes wide with a goal kick.
Make that Versailles with a good stretching header. BK goes down after being pulled down. There's Haber in support. Did well to sidestep one, then two. And then Versailles is shoulder charged by his countryman, and no foul as Alexandre just barged in and took the ball away. And Austin with men moving forward. McMahon inside on Martin, who got a shoulder barge in. Cockerney, little flick through, and here's a chance now for Sakuda. And John was hobbling around, couldn't reach for that. Knocked away to midfield. Haber, and pulled right back. That's got to be a yellow card. As Haber would have been off to the races. That's an easy yellow card for Dave Gantar against Horst.
Yeah, certainly yellow card. He's pulled him back. There was actually two incidents there though, Peter. I thought BK fouled the centre back for the Aztecs, and the referee made it play on, and then the ball went the other way. There was a foul the other way. So you see the foul here. You see him just holding back and scrim down, and it's like a rugby tackle, isn't it?
Nice round of applause for Marcus Haber once again, who did a lot of work, set up the second Charles BK goal, made a great run near the end. And he develops every game. Randy Adwini-Bonsu, an Energy Max substitution here in minute number 86. So 5 minutes plus stoppage time to work. BK launching himself at that one. And a good steal by Knight. Just couldn't poke it inside for Adwini-Bonsu. Now up steps McMahon.
Number 17, Randy Adwini-Bonsu.
Knight couldn't find anybody. McMahon maintains possession and spreads it wide. Della Russo. Touch for Watson there. Spread wide right. Doherty will poke back for Sakuda. Last man is the man who was just booked, David Horst. So he's got to be careful with Whitecaps number 17 chasing. Morano just unseated the ball there, and the Whitecaps get possession back. Pejic nods down. Are we going to see another goal here? Top of the area, and again, look out, here's Jean Alexandre inside the Whitecap penalty area. Has a goal and didn't miss by too much.
Well, Sean Pejic let him turn there, and it's a bit surprising. I don't know if he's took a bit of a slip there, but he's not far away with that shot. He's just over the bar on Gino. But look, you see here, Sean Pejic's closing down. He's done quite well, and he's let him have a little bit too much space there, and that is a very dangerous effort. That's just over the bar, on target. I think Jay Nolly might have a problem with that.
Very impressive for Austin tonight. Something certainly for their fans to look forward to.
Please proceed to the
Header
customer
straight up
service
in the air,
booth
falls
at
to
section D of the
Sakuda.
concourse to play
Pokes
away.
it through, but this time Lyle Martin wins it and plays it wide for Knight. Adwini-Bonsu ahead of him. There's the pacey Adwini-Bonsu. Almost got around Horst. At least he wins a deep throw, and West Knight will be put to the test once again, as will the Austin backline.
With Bonsu on now, I think the Whitecaps need to play the ball into his feet or just in behind the fullback. But if they start launching missiles and knocking him long, I think he's not going to win many headers. They need to get into his feet so he can turn against the big centre backs.
Good direct throw, Bonsu there, straight up in the air. Goalkeeper reaching up and pulling it down and sending his teammates forward. 2.5 minutes to go. Whitecaps 3, Austin 2. Whitecaps had 2-goal leads on 2 occasions, only for the expansion team to come back. McMahon, only as far as Knight. Knight almost gave it away, but Pejic's there to send it forward, and here's BK. Nice chest down, great cushion, back to goal, lays it wide for Knight, who just couldn't get around the corner, as it was Holmes. Darius Holmes stealing in there, but Toure wins the ball back. Calvin, and then to the left back, Takahirano. He sends it through. Look at Toure on the chase there against Della Russo. Neat little pass back. Looking for Cocherty there. And Anzu Toure knocks the ball off, and a throw-in, I believe, for the Whitecaps, or for Austin on the far side.
Good little battle going on with Toure there. He's certainly putting the effort in to try and win possession. And nice gesture just off the ball there. The both of them just sort of shook hands and no harm done. Good challenge by both of them. Good play.
There's indeed a goal kick as Pozniak wins a header. Nodded forward by Evans and all the way through to Jay Nolly, who's not in any hurry to keep the game going here, with the Whitecaps holding on to a slender lead. Evans lets it run. And will be in a bit of a hurry here as he thumps it forward. Flag stays down even though Alexandra was in an offside position. Lyle Martin left-footed ball through. Biquet got up. Couldn't win it over Horst. Takahirano gambled, stepped forward, didn't win it. Watson through ball, and Lyle Martin with a big clearance, and then a foul at the edge of the Whitecaps penalty area.
A real dangerous area. It's just about, 20 yards out from goal on the right-hand side of the goal, and really good build-up play there, but a foul nonetheless, and he's just in there, and this is a good chance, a good set play chance for Austin to try and tie it up in the last minute of play.
And a big meeting of the minds for the visitors right now, as they had three players sort of standing off of it. Jean Alexandre standing there. The Whitecaps are going to make...
looks like he may be coming on the field, and I don't know whether that's to shore up the win and try and hold it off, or whether it's just a waste of any time. We're in the last minute right now.
Gareth Evans is going to take this all the way by the looks of it. The former Wrexham man, the Welshman. The Whitecaps have a four-man wall and add Edwini Bonsu in there to make it 5. Evans has a go, and it rises into the VIP section, and now the Whitecaps will try to make their substitution. I'm wondering if they'll take Lyle Martin off for Jordy Lyle.
Well, they might do that. Number 3 is coming off, and that would be...
No, 3 minutes of stoppage time.
3 minutes of stoppage time, okay. But that, to me, that shot by the defender there is a good defender shot in my eyes. It's over the bar, and they're either going to hit the corner flag or go to the top corner, but that one was way over the bar, no danger for Jay Nolly.
And he just got under it a little bit. And Jay Nolly taking his time to get this ball back in play. We've played 48 seconds of the 3 minutes added. Evans with the header. Hedgick, the opposite number 4, former teammate of Evans, as a matter of fact. And Austin in possession. They've acquitted themselves quite well here, you have to say, in the home of the defending champions. Horst just a little bit too far ahead of his man.
And Jordy Lyle is coming on. We're into injury time now, and it's wasting a bit of time as we go along to get him on, no doubt. Not on yet, still waiting.
Easy guys, easy guys.
Lyle Martin, Winnie Bonsu, nice touch, good turn. Can West Knight keep it in? It was a nice little interplay there, but off and out. Now here comes the substitution. That's West Knight.
Number 8, West Knight coming out.
So maybe that means Lyle Martin will step into midfield and Jordy Lyle.
Jordy Lyle's pushed him forward. Lyle Martin will go wide to right. Jordy Lyle is sailing right back.
12, Jordy Lyle.
Austin in possession.
Whitecap substitution.
And a nice steal. Away goes Anzu Toure. 3 Whitecaps, 2 defenders. Toure, edge of the box. Anzu Toure to the outside. Cuts it back, and I don't know if it was a shot or if it was a cross, but it is a corner.
Took a deflection going out. But the players were lining up there, and it looked like a pass might have been the best option, but Toure decided to try and go on his own.
First Whitecap Steve Nash Sports Club corner of the night. And Nizar Kalfin will come over and take this. That wastes a little bit more time.
Yeah, I think the referee's aware of that. He says he's stopping the watch. But if it was me, I'd be taking a short one and keeping the ball. You knock it in the box, you give the goalkeeper a chance to get it and kick it down the field. And they do just that, they take the short one.
And it's Morano, then Kalfin. into the box, and a good climb there, but another corner from the near side.
And again, I wouldn't be crossing that. I'd be keeping a hold of that and not getting it in the box in case the goalkeeper ends up with it in his hands and he can play it down the field. Get it short, keep it in the corners. It might not be the prettiest thing to watch, but if you want 3 points, that's what you have to do in today's game.
And another another Steve Nash Sports Club corner, and the Whitecaps do take it deep. It's off and out for a goal kick. The 3 minutes of added time have been played, so this is all Dave Ganter time now, as the Whitecaps look to solidify a win and keep their undefeated streak alive at 6 games now, although not a lot of wins in that span. Cockerney sends it deep. Played inside. Nodded away by Versailles, and there's the final whistle. The Whitecaps do get all 3 points. A bit of a struggle, certainly entertaining at times, and you have to give credit to the visitors for coming and showing up to play.
Yeah, I think credit to Aztecs tonight. I thought they did show up to play. To come on the road and do that, I think is a real credit to the coach and the players. But a good performance by the Whitecaps. BK with 2 goals, and Messiah Kenall with a goal as well, the third goal. But BK again showing his power and scoring goals, being the best, most consistent goal scorer this year. But a good game. It's a step forward for the Whitecaps and a step closer to the playoffs.
We'll take a break, chat with one of the victorious Whitecaps in a moment, show you some highlights and wrap things up as the Whitecaps defeat Austin 3-2. You're watching Save On Foods Whitecap Soccer on Shaw.
Canadian Doormaster, for sales and service of garage doors for residential, commercial, and industrial projects. Overhead, rolling, swinging doors, and more. Canadian Doormaster offers 24-hour service and is a proud supporter of the Vancouver Whitecaps.
The countdown is on with Shaw TV's Powered to Win. Join host Johanna Ward every week for profiles and stories that will bring international focus to Vancouver and Whistler. Watch Powered to Win, only on Shaw TV.
Now playing on Shaw Video On Demand.
It's over, Cal. I can't protect you anymore.
You follow any lead, and this story is massive.
It's not a story, it's a case. Now you have blood on your hands.
Do you really think that you're going to publish this?
I trusted you. The newspaper can slant this any which way they want to. How do you think that's gonna go down?
Southland Leisure Centre. For information, visit calgary.ca/leisure centres or call 311.
Watch the Flight Center Travel Guys weekly on Shaw TV.
Don't move. Not moving.
Discover what makes one great destination unique from the next. Flight Center Travel Guys. See the world in less than 5 minutes.
I told you two to get out of here.
Save On Foods Whitecaps Soccer from Swangard Stadium ends with 3 points for the Southsider fans and the men in white, and 2 of those goals provided by our man of the match, Charles BK, who's standing by with Christian Reed.
Thank you, Peter. Charles, first off, another 2 goals for yourself. It just seems like everything's going in, especially off your head for you right now.
Yeah, man, I think the guys are playing well, you know. And they're crossing the ball early. I've been fighting, you know, to make my point across this year, but I think it's coming to pay a dividend now. And, you know, I told the guys, you know, just play that early ball and we're going to be okay, you know, and they're doing it.
Feel like your team survived this game a little bit more than won it?
Yeah, we got 3 points. That's the most important thing. You know, we have to battle. It's not a bad team. I think they're pretty good. I think they're organized. They have good defenders. You know, they're a pretty good team. You know, English style. They're tough. You know, so we got to battle for 3 points. Yeah.
You're going to see them again. You're going to see Cleveland. You have a pretty good schedule down the stretch. Are you guys keeping an eye on the teams ahead of you and where you are right now?
Yeah, you know, we just got to keep winning and make sure that we're ready for the playoff. You know, that's what we want. We want to win championship, and you just got to play and fight. And you know, we don't really worry about the other teams. Worry about yourself.
Well, thank you for this. Congrats on your 2 goals tonight.
Thank you.
Charles BK. Vancouver wins 3-2. We'll take a look back at how it happened. We'll send it back up to Peter and Allen.
Yeah, it's the BC Hydro Power Smart full-time highlights, and we saw another couple of goals here in the second half, and pretty exciting game for the fans, you have to say, with 5 goals.
Yeah, 5 goals, and not just 5 goals, but entertaining football. Here's the first one from a long throw in. A little bit slack in the marking, but take nothing away from that finish. That's a good header, that into the far post. second goal, I thought Haber's a favourite here, with Beakey nips in and takes it off him. First goal, and it's not very often to see him score with his feet. And then the goal for the Aztecs there, and Jay Nolly really could have done a bit better, but a good strike nonetheless.
At this stage, I thought in the second half, the Whitecaps maybe sealed it off as Chin played it nicely out wide to Takahirano. He whipped it in, and Charles Beakey with a patented far post header, and that made it 3-1. But there was another goal to come, and that made for some tense moments as again Jean Alexandre just fights off Lyle Martin and slides it along the deck past Jay Nolly. And there were a few tense moments, but the Whitecaps do hang on for all 3 points. As far as the province full-time stats, we look at the goal scoring summary, and the Whitecaps, just that extra goal by Charles Beakey, another game-winning goal for the Whitecap number 98. And statistically, a pretty close match. Interesting, only 3 corners to 1 for the visitors. Shots not all that far apart. The Whitecaps still in 7th with 4 games remaining, but at least they are within striking distance of the Montreal Impact for that 5th spot.
Well, a good entertaining game, and I think the Aztecs again, the style of play is nice to watch, and for the people in Austin, they're very fortunate to have a coach that wants them to play and play a style that's enjoyable to watch. But they're not a bad team either. They pass it well, they finish well, and you know, for an expansion team, they've got a bit to learn, but I think they're certainly on the right track, and that was a good win for the Whitecaps tonight. I think Charles Beakey said it best. They are a good team. They've got good defenders. They've got good players. They're well coached, and on paper it looks like it should be a shoe-in, but nothing matters on paper. You've got to turn up. It's 11v11 on the field, and I thought the Whitecaps did enough to win, but they made it a bit closer than it should have been.
It's been a lot of fun once again, Alan, and thanks to our entire Shaw crew. We look forward to doing this again next season, and we'll have more thoughts from Swangard as we wrap things up here tonight. Whitecaps 3, Austin 2 on Save On Foods Whitecaps Soccer.
Hi, I'm Daniel Sedin. Hi, I'm Henrik Sedin. We're here to talk about Biggest in the City. When you sponsor Biggest Culture, you help children with disabilities through the BC Lions Society.
Guys, it's Eagles in the City.
Huh?
It's an eagle sculpture.
What?
When you sponsor an eagle sculpture, you help children.
Guys!
The countdown is on with Shaw TV's Powered to Win. Join host Johanna Ward every week for profiles and stories that will bring international focus to Vancouver and Whistler. Watch Powered to Win only on Shaw TV.
WHL Hockey is live on Shaw. Catch the NHL stars of tomorrow today. The Western Hockey League, building the world's finest talent. Watch Thursday, September 17th when the Ed Chenault Cup champion Kelowna Rockets and Vancouver Giants drop the puck on a brand new season of exciting action. WHL Hockey, only on Shaw.
The Vancouver Whitecaps' next home game is Sunday, September 13th. The Whitecaps hosting the same Austin Aztec. It's going to be an afternoon affair, kickoff at 4 p.m. For tickets to that game, call Ticketmaster 604-280-4400, or you can go online at whitecapsfc.com. On behalf of Peter Shad, Alan Arrington, and our producer, Grant Wilkins, we'd like to thank all of our incredible crew here at Shaw. I'd name you all personally, but with my track record, that might not be a good idea. But your hard work and dedication is sincerely appreciated. And we'd like to thank you all for joining us all season long. We look forward to seeing you next year. Good night.